The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, to my left, we have a man that really needs no introduction, for he is known the world over. It's the one, it's the only, it's Pops.
Let's go fire away with the more boxing news.
So listen, we got a great live, as always, planned for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoy the live. If you're tuning in, or if you're watching the playback, make sure you guys hit that like button and definitely take the time to subscribe. And yeah, but you know, the whole news today has been the Canelo Dazn deal, the new Dazn deal. So we'll get into all that. Before we get into all that, I wanted to say this. This is what I wanted to say. Programming reminder, and I'm gonna give you guys this programming reminder all week when we're live. So if it gets redundant, I apologize, but we gotta let you guys know.
Yeah.
All right. We gotta let the world know.
It's like having a date. You need a time, date, and place.
Absolutely. So yeah, Saturday we will be live for John Ryder versus Daniel Jacobs, the entire card. So don't make no plans. You know, come watch the live with us. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun. And,
it's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit. You know, John Ryder trying to make a name for himself. You know, Jacobs trying to really recapture his career. So we gonna see what happens. We got that. There's obviously lots of videos coming out. But a lot of videos have been dropped on the channel. Yeah. So go check all that out, and it will definitely help
the channel.
Not channel. It'll help them out. It'll help them out as a boxing fans, because we point out that world class content. But I see we got some comments, so I'm going to take this time to acknowledge some comments, and then we'll get into the topic. So shout out to my main man, one of the only Canelo fans that I like and tolerate on planet Earth, my guy Diego. He says, my man BT and Pops, good to see you, Diego. Hope you had a good day at the boxing gym today. I saw you were there. Jesus Sam says, saludos, BT. Good to see you, champ. How you living, Jesus? You all right? Sure says, so he's not fighting Charles no more? Wow, absolutely not. No. Well, to be fair, look, I got to say this. When it comes to this whole thing with Bivol and GGG, it's all just reports, and it was reported by Michael Coppinger, so take it with a grain of salt. Until you actually hear it from Eddie Hearn or Canelo himself or Bivol himself, you can't really believe anything. But a lot of reputable news people, not Coppinger, but other news people are reporting it. So, you know, make it that what you will. I figured, you know what? It'd be a good thing to talk about, because every time I come in here and I start running my mouth about Canelo Alvarez, whether you love what I say or hate what I say, you come watch anyway. So that's why we're talking about it. Milky Way, what's good, champ? He says, how you doing, bro? I'm doing good. You know, it's been a really slow day today, but we here, man, getting it in, and you know, just trying to keep the ship afloat and talk that boxing with you guys. Hope you're doing good. Escribiendo la historia. That's right. Yeah. Canelo needs to announce his opponent soon. Hopefully he does. I was just telling Pops, I was telling him, like, if he don't actually announce his opponent, and let's say like John Ryder get a stoppage against Jacobs, he gonna fight John Ryder. Yeah. That was my theory, but if this is true, then that kind of puts that theory in smoke.
Are you gonna open up for the talking to Mike and stuff to us live?
We'll do that.
You should make a little change around.
Egg says, this is awesome. I'm hyped for Bivol. Yeah, man. Bivol, shout out to him. You know, we'll see what he does. We'll get to Bivol in a second. Bivol can actually beat Canelo, bro. I'm worried. I thought so too until I saw the contract. Haney versus Kambosos must sign to end them up. Not Kambosos will move on. Listen, we already touched on that. I told you guys how that's going to happen already. It's going to end up with George fighting Ryan Garcia. All this tweets and back and forth. Don't pay attention to none of it. It's just going to end with him fighting Ryan Garcia. So, you know, do what you want. Canelo. Yeah, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Canelo is a WBA paper champion because he beat Canelo Smith for the belt, and he won a rob decision from John Ryder. Canelo is the fake undisputed champion. He's ducking John Ryder. That's right. Talk to him. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna go that far. I know I don't like Canelo. I'm not gonna go that far. But yes, you are right when you say that John Ryder did beat Canelo Smith, and John Ryder is the real champion. So I agree with that. But I'm not gonna try to diminish.
Canelo is the paper champion.
I'm not gonna diminish
paper money.
Huh?
Canelo's a paper champ for the green paper. Yeah. More money.
All right. So listen, let's not waste no more time.
Right.
Let's not waste no more time. Listen, man, big, massive news today. You know, it's not, again, I gotta preface everything I'm saying by telling you guys that it's not official yet. Until Canelo or Hearn or somebody of massive influence announces the fight, it's not official. But we'll go to it right quick. I got it right here somewhere. So This was the report today. Oh no, not this one. Not this one. Wait, let's go to Coppinger. This guy, Mike Coppinger, man. This PBC show, Mike Coppinger. But anyway, Michael Coppinger today. Does he live in South Florida?
No,
okay, Coppinger, we see you, champ. You moving on up in the world in South Florida. I'm gonna have to come see you. But let me see, where was it at? The report was right here. Okay, so the report is right here. So there you have from Coppinger today. This is the report that set the boxing world on fire today. Yeah. Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Hearn are closing in on a 2-fight deal to return to DAZN. To return to DAZN. They're saying that the first fight is going to be May 7th versus Bivol, Cinco de Mayo weekend at 175, and the second fight will be the most pointless fight in all boxing. Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo 3 at 168. No agreement yet because Canelo and GGG both must win the next fights. Canelo obviously has his well, Canelo's gonna fight Bivol first,
right? And then he's gonna fight Murata.
And then GGG's gonna fight Murata. So that's gonna happen.
But the fight was canceled because Japan with the COVID and all
no, that's still gonna make it was postponed. It wasn't canceled. It was canceled for that date, but it's postponed.
Right.
Egg says, "Did you read the contract?" No, I didn't read the contract. I read the report. I don't have the contract. I'm just saying, if this is true, Bivol gonna be fighting Canelo on May 7th. And Golovkin gonna fight at September 17th. So what? First of all, I'm gonna give my thoughts, Pops. Just give me your unfiltered thoughts. Don't pour punches. No. What do you think about this whole thing?
I think we've been getting on Canelo's case all the time about fighting legitimate competition, the top dogs in there. No, we're not getting Bivol Andre right now, but
we're never getting Bivol Andre. So let's just accept that.
I'm just saying. You told me. I'm generalizing. We're not getting Bivol Andre. Probably won't get you the benefit of this fight. Who knows what's going to happen? But the reality is, I think that Canelo's stepping up. He wants to show the public that, you know what, Eddie Reynosa, it's time for me to go ahead and show up and let people know, like, you know what, I'm here. I want to fight the top guns. People try to shut people's mouths off. I think Bivol's going to be a great fight for him. I think Bivol's going to come in there and possibly beat him. That's my reality, my thing on that. The GG thing is about as old as my grandmom. God bless her. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, I really don't care about it. I'm just tired about hearing about it.
All right. So look, I know a lot of people are excited about this whole situation if it comes off. And I'll raise my hand. And I said when I made my video recently, I was the one who said if I would rather Canelo take the Bivol Golovkin fight deal with DAZN rather than Charlo, because truthfully, like, fuck Jamal Charlo. Like, Jamal Charlo's over here, ducking Demetrius Andre, running his mouth too much, dick riding Canelo Alvarez. So I'm glad Charlo's not getting the fight. Fuck Charlo. He's one of the most overrated coward champions in the sport. So in that case, I'm happy. But, and you knew there was going to be a but, my issue is, the reason, I don't know, I'm trying to listen. One thing I'm trying to practice this year with Canelo Alvarez is to not be a cynical asshole about everything that goes on with his career. But I'll tell you this: if this report is true, if he is actually going to fight Bivol at the 175-pound limit, then all I can do is give him credit. Yep. I have to give him credit. Yep. Just listen, and I want to preface my credit by saying, just so long as there's no crazy rehydration clause bullshit, none of that. No. If he fights Bivol straight up at 175, it's on the level. Then he deserves credit, because Bivol is one of the most technically proficient fighters in the entire sport. I know a lot of people are going to sit here and use Bivol. Maybe they haven't seen him fight, or maybe they have seen him fight and they think he's a hype job. But Bivol is one of the best technical boxers out there. You guys talk about what Kovalev could do to Canelo, right, or what he was doing to Canelo. Bivol's got the ability to do that for the entire fight.
Yeah, and sure, he doesn't have the power, but he has everything else, and will make the fight very difficult and very interesting for Canelo. And he's got the possibility of being. I mean, this is so crazy how boxing one day turns, one day goes upside down.
And mind you, we're talking about this, and it's not really official.
But we got to keep that in mind. We're just having a conversation. Let's be real. In the beginning, it was okay. We were going to fight Bitterrib, because Bitterrib was supposed to be supposedly the opponent that was to be the weakest out of all of them. and then all of a sudden Bivol goes in and kicks some ass against what's the guy's name? Brown.
Marcus Brown.
Marcus Brown. He shows out, and then what happens? You don't hear about Bivol anymore. Now Canelo goes back in the shelf, and he picks Bivol and he picks GG.
Yeah.
So I hope it's good. It happens. I want more so the Bivol fight than the GG fight.
Yeah, well, I've been saying for a while because I did. This is one. Listen, I have to still wait until I give. I'm not gonna go crazy with Canelo because I've done this before.
Nah.
I gotta see if there's any clauses or any funny business that comes on the back end because
got the salesman Eddie Hearns involved.
That's another reason why I should wait. I should wait. I should wait extra long if Eddie Hearns behind it because the reality is, look, we gotta wait to see if there's any clauses.
Right.
If it's at the 175-pound limit and there's no rehydration clause and he fights him straight up, then you got to give him his just due because I'm the main one that's been saying, look, there's 3 guys never going to fight. And Bivol was always one of the names that I threw out there. So, we'll see what happens. But as far as the Golovkin fight, I'll tell you this, Pups. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I hope Canelo knocks the fuck out of Golovkin. Listen, let me tell you guys something. I used to be a big fan of Golovkin. Big fan. I used to think the world of Golovkin. And I thought, and I'm raising my hand and also saying, I think Golovkin actually beat Canelo in the 2 fights, and at bare minimum, he beat him at least in the first fight. At minimum, at the first fight, maybe the second fight you could make it a draw because it was closer. But the first fight for sure, Golovkin won, and there's no two ways about it. But ever since the Canelo fights, Golovkin has pretty much become. I know he fought Derevyanchenko, so that was a good fight. I thought he lost that fight too. I thought he lost that fight, Golovkin. But since the Canelo fights, excluding Derevyanchenko, Golovkin's been doing what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, and
sitting his ass on the couch.
It's funny we were talking about Golovkin right now because before we went on the live, BT, one of the things you brought out is the reason he hasn't fought nobody is because he's supposed to. If he fights Canelo, he gets $18 million guaranteed.
Shit, I was
and
sitting
you're like,
too.
well, yeah. So BT's like, well, I will sit my ass down too. Why not? I don't know.
It all makes sense now because there was a Chris Eubank Jr. had called out Golovkin before his win this week against Liam Williams, and Golovkin came out and he stuck his nose up in the air and he said, "I don't even pay attention to these guys that call me out anymore."
Yeah, like your shit don't stink.
Like your shit doesn't stink. So I've always wanted somebody to punch Golovkin up, punch him in his fucking mouth like Eubank or Andrade or one of these guys, Charlo, because he's been content to just settle down and do nothing, be a mediocre, meaningless champion in boxing, because that's what he is. His whole career has revolved around Canelo before the damn fight, and after that, it's been times 3. So
like what, 2.5 years, you sit on his ass
fighting Camille, Schmerta, Steve Rolls. You talk about the zone overpaying people. I know Canelo. They overpaid him. They overpaid pretty much everybody. But if there was a fight out of everybody they were paid that they got the least return on their investment for, it was Gennady Golovkin.
Yeah, and for him to even get the big fight, I guess the Canelo team figures he's a lot older now, turning 40. That they got an advantage over that. And, at the end of the day, the match was trying to save itself. They're losing money also. Eddie Hearns losing money. So having to face the boxing and Canelo to go in there and make these fights happen, so be it. But I'm not really – I was in the beginning, but after I see Gennady just sit back for 2.5 years and not do shit and just wait to fight Murata, I kind of was like – I lost my appetite to see that fight.
Shout out to everybody here, by the way. I'm going to get to the comments in a second, but shout out to you, Fresh BX. I see you. Valiant, I see you. Abdus, I see you. And MAW, I see you. But,
I'm going to go grab the mic, Brendan, so we can talk.
Hold on. Let me get my shit off first.
Okay.
Let me get what I want to get off first, then we'll get people on here.
Yeah.
You trying to keep me up until 3 a.m. because you know what's to happen. I'm going to be up till 3 a.m. on this shit. You know that, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I'm going to be up to 3 a.m. Well, anyway. Okay.
A little bit.
All right. So Keith Idek, all right? So Keith Idek goes a bit deeper into the Canelo deal. He says, I've been told that the Zone's offers to Canelo could become worth as much as $100 million, which is hard to turn down, particularly since PBC and Showtime would want him to fight Benavidez next if he were to beat Charlo. Fans want Canelo Benavidez too, but it's not quite Canelo GGG in terms of the money.
Wow.
So what do you guys make of that? What
that's
do you make of that?
Right there. Basically, what Keith Idek was saying here. Idek is saying right here. It basically says that the GG name will make more money, but him facing Canelo will be more of a money chase than Charlo, than Benavidez fight for Canelo. I personally think whoever Canelo fights, he's gonna sell out and he's gonna make money.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like you talk about, you know, Golovkin, Canelo, Golovkin. Yeah, sure. Like us in this little bubble of the YouTube boxing community,
right.
Most of us could give a fuck less about GGG and Canelo 3. But the casuals that don't always tune in boxing, where boxing's not their life, that will interest them because GGG and Canelo was exciting, and GGG is bringing that name value to the table. So this is a case of business as usual, politics as usual, and
the name, but that's nothing more. Nothing more from GG, honestly. If you're an avid fan and you've seen what GG has done, you'd be ashamed. And his promoter, what his name is, I like him too.
Tom Loeffler.
Yeah, Tom Loeffler.
Oh no, we're not gonna go there. We're not talking bad about Tom Loeffler.
Okay.
This is the man that's responsible. Hold on. I have to correct him. Tom Loeffler is the guy that's responsible for getting Chocolatito on HBO. Don't you ever fix your lips and disrespect Tom Loeffler.
Hey, bottom line, he's still Canelo's promoter. He could have got
Golovkin.
He could have got Golovkin off his ass and put him on more fights. He didn't do his job. He wasn't doing his job, whether Gigi liked it or not. But like you said, he was just waiting to get. He was in the lunch line, waiting for the free $18 million he's going to get after a 2-year layoff. Who wouldn't wait for that?
Who wouldn't? So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And then last but not least, and then I'll open it up in a second. Where to go? Mike Coppinger also said this, and this is the real good news. This is really the only good news about the Bivol Canelo fight. Like Bivol Canelo, yeah, it's a cute little fight. Bivol Canelo versus GGG3, cute little fight. But this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because if this is true, and we have to say if because it's not official yet, but if it's true, it means that Canelo is going to be tied up all year. So we don't got to, all the times of me running down on Canelo like I ran down on Canelo.
Can't be this.
They don't got to worry about that too much longer because he's tied up. So I can't be unrealistic. But we know Demetrius Andrade, he was going up to 68 to try to position himself for Benavidez or Canelo. He got to fight Zach Parker for the interim title first. Mm-hmm. But, Jamal's going to move up there. He was planning to go up there. So the dream is alive. Yeah. The dream is alive. If Jamal Charlo can find his balls and he can muster up the courage, just enough courage to fight Demetrius Andrade, maybe, just maybe, we will get a big fight at 168.
And one thing you did say, BT, you said the good thing about Canelo, if this gets finalized for Canelo fighting these other 12 guys, that would only mean that everybody else got to fight each other to make it more interesting in the division. Yeah,
and then so it's a good thing. It gives a lot of options. I know. I saw an interview on Fight Hype with Sean Tuttle. Shout out to Sean Tuttle.
Oh yeah, we just seen that.
And David Benavidez is down. Like David Benavidez, he wants to smoke with Andrade. So I don't think the issue is going to be Benavidez fighting Andrade. I think the issue will be, will Al Heyman allow the fight to happen? I think Andrade wants to fight. I think Benavidez wants to fight. Yeah. I think it comes down to the shot callers.
Well, what do you think? What do you think Al Heyman's going to let Benavidez just sit back and wait what happens between Canelo for the whole year?
I don't know.
Think about it.
I don't know. You gotta find a way to stay active. But let's get some comments, man, because I see we got a lot of comments. Shout out to all 25 of you here.
Hit that like, please, and support the channel any way you
can. Fresh BX, he said he ain't impressed. He says Bivol is damn near straight up and down with no special effects. And you know what? Look, I can see where you're coming from. I don't think
he's talking about because he doesn't have knockout power or what?
He's basically saying he don't really have no footwork.
Oh wow,
no crazy footwork, no crazy power. To be fair, like look, Bivol hasn't had a knockout or a stoppage in his last 6 fights. He's very good at mastering his range. Got one of the best jabs in the sport, but it's gonna be a tall task. So we'll see what happens. Fresh BX. We just know he's not fighting Andrade because we know the deal with that. Yeah. We know the deal. Valiant says GGG destroyed his entire career by just chasing Canelo. You damn right he did.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, that's what BT just finished saying. I totally agree with what BT say. He accustomed his career in front of Canelo to get to Canelo, and then after fighting Canelo, he still continued on the same career path of just waiting for Canelo. So basically, Canelo, like what was Baldwin to say? I give you a blessing. Canelo gave GG a blessing and still giving him blessings. What happens?
Now, Blood Crawford, shout out to Blood Crawford. He says, I've been in this game. I smell corruption in this. This is worse than Ugas. Bivol has no chance to get a decision. You know what? Look, I told you. I gave you guys. Listen, I gave you guys my fair and unbiased thoughts about Bivol.
But he will tell you. Like he told
now I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys the real what I was telling Pops before we started this live. This is what I genuinely believe. Look, this is just my opinion. All right. So I'll wait and see what happens. But listen, the way the deal is structured. They're giving you guys the dates. They're telling you May 17th he's going to fight Bivol and September 17th he's going to fight Golovkin. Now, why would they give you the Golovkin fight second and give you the Bivol fight first? Why would they give you the exact dates if the Bivol fight's not a foregone conclusion? Because it is a foregone conclusion. He's taking a dive. He's taking a dive.
Brendan's telling me, I'm that's hard to
now,
believe.
Pop, listen,
he agrees with you. What you say? He said.
Listen, now, Pops doesn't agree with me. He thinks the Bivol fight is gonna be on the level. It's gonna be fair. And listen, I'm praying to God. Like it does me no good talking bad about these fighters and these events. It really doesn't. But I have to be realistic. This motherfucker, $100 million on the table. You think they're gonna let a dude from Kriegstand ruin $100 million?
I know what you're saying.
Fuck
man.
up the cash cow boxing, the machine. Come on, champ.
The reality slapping me in the face, but I just can't believe it.
Listen.
I don't think if you're Bivol and you got a chance, you're gonna make this the biggest payday for you. And I understand you're fighting Canelo. I'm just gonna go in there just like Kovalev did in the other fight, and just go in there and basically go ahead and just say, okay, I'm gonna collect this big payday. Thank you, Canelo, Reynoso. I'm gonna go ahead and take a dive. I just find that hard to believe.
I want to implore any and all boxing fans. Listen, if this fight comes off in May, the two things you must look out for. Number one, just if the venue's in Texas, you know what the deal is. If they fight at Cowboy Stadium, you know what the deal is. All right. If you see Bivol acting funny during fight week, you know what the deal is.
Yeah, man. I never expected that from Kovalev. I don't know. It's hard to believe, but it's the reality of boxing. Anything behind the dark side that we don't know, the corruption, whatever we want to call it, we really don't know anything. But at the end of the day, I could see where BT's going with that. He's really saying like, okay, do you think he's gonna beat Bivol?
Now look,
the biggest.
Now look. Now let me tell you guys this. Why isn't the big money fight with Golovkin first? Because Golovkin's the older guy, and why isn't Bivol second? Why is Golovkin second? But you gotta pay attention to how they're maneuvering the fights.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because the Golovkin fight is the one that's gonna attract the eyeballs. Because you gotta understand, Golovkin. For those that know, for those that don't know, the number one sport in the country of Kazakhstan is boxing. Right. So Golovkin's got a whole country behind him. Canelo's got a whole country behind him, and they have casuals that are interested in that fight, right?
Right.
So when that fight does come off, that's going to get DAZN a lot of subscriptions. And if you guys haven't seen the interview with Joe Markowski at DAZN, I mean, DAZN is desperate. I mean, this is the same company.
There's that much money.
Listen. This is the same company in DAZN that was telling you guys, well, we're doing away with pay-per-view. It's done. We're not doing pay-per-view no more. And now that same company, because they can't compete with the purses that are being thrown around by the other boxing companies and promoters, now they have to make these fights pay-per-view for them to have competitive purses to pay guys like Canelo. So if you're a DAZN subscriber and you think you're just going to get Canelo versus Bivol or Canelo versus GGG free with your subscription, you got another thing coming. You best get ready to fork over that $70 to $80. Yeah, you best get ready for that.
So you basically say they're the same boat as PVC then, as far as money-wise go, right? They're down and out too. That's what you're basically telling me.
Yeah,
it's not fair for the regular subscribers.
Listen,
BT called this up. We talked about this before we went online. He told me that too. He said, "Pops, do you think you're gonna get a free $20 a month subscription
for Canelo?
For Canelo?
Stop it!
I'm just saying. And BT called and I said, no, that's not happening. Pops.
This is why I laugh. This is why I laugh when I hear people say, "Oh, well, Andrade and Charlo and Benavidez and all these guys, they want paydays." Well, look how much money Canelo's fighting for. He ain't fucking fighting for free.
Jesus, so he's getting $50 million for each fight. Basically, right?
Huh?
He's getting $50 million for each fight. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And I was telling my son, how much money do you really need? And my son was telling me.
And I told him, look, he asked me, because he's like, oh, Canelo's got all this money. Canelo's got this. He's got that. And I told Pops, I said, Pops,
enough money.
If you could make $100 million just for the fuck of it, just because, would you do it? And he goes on to this whole little tangent about, oh, well, I'll do it for generational wealth. And I told him, I didn't ask about all that. Would you yes or no? And he said yes. So he's doing it.
Yeah.
He's doing it. Yeah. And you can't knock him.
And he's the face of boxing, so go get it, Canelo.
MAW says,
get that money, Canelo. Get it all.
Get your money, champ. Boxing's a hard sport.
That's it.
GGG ignored Andre for Canelo 3. It's sad. Really, listen, I used to be a big Golovkin fan. And I'll be honest, look, maybe at this point, I should really direct my attention away from Canelo and focus on Golovkin, because Golovkin is he used to really be something in boxing. He used to really be someone. And then he lost to Canelo, and he became a bum. Not a bum in terms of his boxing skills or his boxing ability, but a bum in terms of his mentality. So maybe I got to really focus on Golovkin. You know, Canelo at this point, look, Canelo's trying to fight Bivol. He's fighting, you know, another quality fighter in Golovkin. He just fought Plant. He's been fighting, you know, decent people, good people. It's Golovkin. You know, this is the same Golovkin that he fought Kamil Schmerta, who anybody who's watched Schmerta knows, Schmerta has zero punching power.
Did he have an opportunity to fight Andre and turn it down? Or
Plenty.
Didn't even look for it, right? So
you don't want no smoke with Andre.
Listen, he's just getting a retirement paycheck. Canelo's gonna be the face of boxing. Canelo's gonna do what Wilder did to a lot of fighters. He's gonna how Deontay Wilder would say, "I'm gonna bless you
with another opportunity."
And so respect to Canelo. He's gonna get his money.
We got our first super chat today, and listen, make sure y'all follow William's lead. Follow William's lead. So William, we're gonna get to your comment, but as always, you know when the super chats come in, Don King comes in. So Don King, talk to him.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
It don't matter if you're young or old. Let the good times roll. We appreciate you, William, with the $5 super chat. He says, "I love the channel, sir, and supporting my favorite boxer, Bivol Andre. Keep doing your thing." No, absolutely. Demetrius Andre, one of the best fighters out there. You know, it's unfortunate that Demetrius Andre won't get to fight Canelo, but it is what it is. Some things in boxing just aren't meant to be. But it doesn't mean he still can't get great fights. It still doesn't mean he can't achieve his own greatness. In my opinion, he's already a fantastic fighter, and he's already had a hell of a career. He just needs that one signature fight. So fingers crossed, maybe Benavidez comes off. Maybe Charlo will fight him now that he doesn't have the Canelo option. And we can see what Bivol can do in those big fights, because he's been a consistent champion. You know, this has been a guy that's been a 2-division champion. This is a guy that was a 2008 U.S. Olympian. This has been a guy that's been world amateur champion. This is a guy that's defended his belt more than a handful of occasions. So he's been a consistent champion. He just needs that big name to really put him over the top. And just so long as I have a platform here on True School Sports, we will continue to push for Bivol Andre. So we appreciate you, William. Thank you, champ. Shout out to my man Hyro. He says, respect for Bivol truly, but the numbers don't lie. With the 100% knockout ratio, man. I smell a sting operation. Canelo is an Eddie Hearn fighter. No fighter invites another promoter to a PBC show. Hearn is on at least. So Hyro's saying that Eddie Hearn's in cahoots. Eddie Hearn is just a puppeteer of Al Heyman. And you know what? You never know. Boxing's a very, very, very fickle game. And you just never know what's going on behind the scenes, truly. But as far as the knockout ratio, Hyro's not referring to Bivol Valiant. He's referring to Artur Beterbiev. Hyro wants to see Canelo fight Artur Beterbiev because Beterbiev, man, look, you can say what you want, but Beterbiev's been stopping these guys like Marcus Brown and I mean, he made Alexander Vaznik retire. There is no fighter in boxing with the higher knockout ratio at that championship level than Artur Beterbiev. So, like, I mean, people who want to see that fight, they have the just arguments, but you can't really complain if he's fighting Bivol at the 175-pound limit. So we got another super chat. Shout out to my man Thomas with the $5 super chat, and he wants to activate the sponsor. So that's what we're gonna do. So in case you don't know, let me tell you guys, True School Sports has been unofficially sponsored and brought to you in part by Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Big Baby, tell them who our sponsors are.
Vienna sausage cinnamon buns, Wonder Bread, Kool-Aid with no motherfucking sugar.
There you have it. Vienna sausages, Wonder Bread, and that Kool-Aid with no motherfucking sugar. And you know what, Thomas, just because I like you, man, I'll have Big Baby come over here and do the sponsors again. So talk to him again, Big Baby.
Vienna sausage cinnamon buns, Wonder Bread, Kool-Aid with no motherfucking sugar.
Shout out to you, Thomas. He says Canelo can't get promoters to hook up Andre with some cinnamon buns, Wonder Bread, and Vienna sausages. No, he can't. Unfortunately, you know, I don't think Canelo has that kind of pull. You know, Canelo can sell 100,000 seats. Canelo can break all kinds of records at the box office, but he can't get no Kool-Aid, cinnamon buns, Wonder Bread. He can't do that for these fighters. So he's got to up his game. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Canelo is just like the face of boxing. He's gonna get what he wants. Mayweather did it for so long, so why can't he? Simple as that.
Oh.
You know, why can't he? Like I said, I'm happy because at least I see him fighting Bivol. I'm not really happy him fighting a 50-year-old senior citizen from Pakistan as a retirement. So yeah,
man, but ain't that crazy? Golovkin really ducked Demetrius Andre for all these years.
Yeah,
to fight, to wait. He not just Andre. He ducked Andre, Charlo.
Did he fight all his mandatories at all? Or he ducked them too, Lord?
I mean, he fought Shmeta. He fought the weakest mandatory. I mean, he only had one belt, so he can only fight his mandatory. Right. Man, Fresh BX says Bivol's knockout ratio is 57.8%, and he hasn't had a knockout since like 2018 when he fought Sullivan Barrera. His last 6 fights have all been by decision. So you could look at Bivol one of 2 ways. You could either say he's got no pop, or you could say he's mastered the art of winning a UD.
I don't think. I'll be honest. Bivol's going to do some trying times for Canelo, but Canelo goes start handing out those rib dinners, Brandon. I hope he can handle that. He's got to keep his distance. Can I
be honest with something else?
Yeah, call it out.
I'll be honest.
Call it out.
I don't like the fact that Bivol is getting a payday when I wanted to see Bivol versus Zorro. What? I would have liked to see Bivol fight Zorro first.
Oh yeah, but hasn't sort of been calling that out for a minute?
Good
point for that. Yeah, I mean, like, wasn't he calling that before? And that would have been a great fight. And the winner of that should have fucked it up. But you know what? Canelo is the boss with all the money sauce, so he call who he wants, and he's gonna get his way.
Like I wanted
to accept it.
Like that's the fight I've actually wanted to see most in boxing. Zorro versus Bivol, and they've had their.
They can still have it.
I know, but like,
but you're basically you're basically saying why allow Bivol cash in when he should fought Zorro, each one fight each other, and then they can go ahead and cash in. And then they can.
That's what I'm saying. Because look, think about it, right? Bivol is a top light heavyweight,
right?
Zorro is a top Mexican light heavyweight. Right. You know, man, like that. But you know, Canelo don't want to fight Mexicans.
But like I say, Canelo is the face of boxing. Canelo with the money. He's got all the sauce. With that money sauce, he can get wherever he wants in that ring, and he's chosen. Right. I'm happy because I can't sit here and bash Canelo and say, okay, you're not gonna. If it's finalized, because my son has 3 rules. He tells me date, and I've got to make
venue, and I've got TV contract,
and I've got to accept it. I've been to get excited every time for a lot of fights, and he always tells me that. And you know what? 99.999. Guess what? I hate to say it. He's right.
Shout out again to Thomas with the $5 super chat. So you know what it is. I'm gonna activate the sponsors again, just for Thomas one more time, just for Thomas.
Vienna sausage, cinnamon buns, Wonder Bread, Kool-Aid with no motherfucking sugar.
So Thomas says, "Hey, give GGG a $1 next time you see him because he's taking beatings from Canelo."
Oh,
absolutely,
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen like that. GG, I lost respect, but this brings the question, President. After all this is going on now, what happens to Bivol now? Well, where does
Better Biev was gonna fight. They were in negotiations to fight Joe Smith Jr. anyway.
Okay,
so
I get it.
He wasn't really in the cards anyway.
Right, but he was. He was actually He was actually before all this stuff. Wasn't he actually?
No.
The first choice for Canelo?
Better Biev and Joe Smith Jr. just entered negotiations like within the last month. Okay. They're trying to fight at the Garden. So
so you're basically saying that he was going to be put on the back seat for now.
He was never a top option. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say.
Where does Charlo go from here now?
We'll get to that in a second. Okay. Let me get into some comments, man. I don't want the people to feel like I'm ignoring them, man.
I'm sorry.
This is the whole thing. This is the whole boxing. I don't want nobody to feel like I'm ignoring them. But shout out to Charlie. He said, "I would love to go to this fight." Maybe Charlie, you might have to hop on a plane. I might have to take you to the fight.
What fight is this?
Bivol versus Canelo. I think Charlie like Canelo.
Boxing?
He watches the channel. He knows.
That is good. Yeah, that'd be good for you guys to go.
Bivol is pillow fisted, but he will box your ass off. You know, a lot of people were saying that about Canelo's last opponent.
I'm gonna tell you like this though. I think Canelo's got power. That power Canelo brings, Brandon. We have to, and if he keeps handing out the check, what do I call it? Rib dinners to the body of Bivol. it's going to be a big test for Bivol. But you also say Bivol's got a good jab and he keeps his distance.
Got a great jab. He's got different variations of that jab.
So that might cause problems for Canelo.
Yeah. Ordinary P, what's good, champ? What's up?
So now, Ordinary P.
Blood Crawford, and this is Hyra, by the way. He says, Bivol is ducking Zurdo. Dude has had a mandatory since he fought on HBO fighting domestic level Craig Richards and Umar Salamov. Yeah, his last two performances, Bivol, I like Bivol, but his last two performances have been very uninspiring. I mean, Salamov was a solid performance. Richards was
And to be honest, Brandon, Bivol's fighting is the biggest payday fight at Canelo. Do you think that they got all the money in the bag that he's going to go back and fight Zurdo Ramirez?
Hell no. No.
You go turn his back on that challenge?
Yes, she's not fighting Zurdo. Come on, man.
I'm just saying.
Why?
The guy's still calling it 2-1.
Golden Boy's gonna at that point. Listen, because this is what happens. Let me explain to you guys something. What happens with Canelo opponents? It's happening with Caleb Plant right now. So before Caleb Plant fought Canelo, he was a bum. He was nothing. Now, if you notice, if you go on Instagram now, whenever they put up like hypothetical matchups, when it's Caleb Plant versus anybody else that's not Canelo, everyone's picking Caleb Plant. Oh, because he fought Canelo. His stock went up when he fought Canelo.
Right.
So that's gonna happen with Bivol. His market value, win, lose, or draw, will go up after he fights Canelo, and then it's going to be incumbent upon Golden Boy to pay Bivol a lot of money.
Oh, after the fact.
After the fact.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. Valiant says Zurdo Canelo is more intriguing than Bivol Canelo. I agree. I actually agree with that. Like I'm not complaining about Bivol versus Canelo.
Oh, that'd be a great fight, though.
I feel like with Canelo and Zurdo both being Mexican natives, that would be a great fight. But I can't really complain about Bivol either. That's a good fight.
I'm just gonna throw this in the bag. How about Benitez and Zurdo? Benavidez and Zurdo fighting. Would that be a good fight?
They're not gonna fight each other.
They won't. I know they won't. But I'm just saying, if they happen to fight the Canelo, to fight the big dog, eventually Canelo's gonna have to break the string, fight some Mexican fighter.
No, he don't. There's enough bodies. There's enough bodies that aren't Mexican in boxing. He can maneuver his way around the Mexican killers. Fresh BX says, I don't think Plant is the favorite versus Benavidez. That's a pick'em. To me, that's a pick'em.
I like Benavidez.
That fight.
I'm a big fan of both of them. So
I might listen. I might slightly favor Benavidez in that fight, but to me, it's a pick'em. To me,
I was reading an article. I was reading today, Brandon, that was saying Benavidez was saying that Caleb Plant said that he's going to fight Benavidez at some time, but he's not going to fight him right away because when it came time to Caleb trying to fight him before, his manager or somebody shrugged him off.
Who we talking about?
Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant came out and said he actually said Benavidez called him out. And Caleb Plant came out.
Oh, you're talking about Benavidez and Plant. You're talking about when Samson Lippowitz was talking about we need to give more time to Benavidez in January of 2020.
So basically, because Caleb Plant's stock went up, even when losing the fight to Canelo, Caleb Plant came out and said, I'm going to fight you, but it's not going to be right away because you shrugged me off.
Absolutely. Jiho Park says Zurdo walked away from Marcus Brown fight for the interim title to fight a washed Sullivan Barrera. So it's not like
he did?
He's been fighting straight killers or anything. That's a good point. Maybe I never considered that, but I'll tell you this: he fought his last fight. He didn't fight no bum. His last fight, he fought Unias Gonzalez, a guy that's gave a lot of people hell.
Yeah, but you think Gonzalez was better than Brown, quality wise? You gotta look at that.
I do think he's better than Marcus Brown.
Are you serious?
Marcus Brown sucks.
Up to the fact.
No, Marcus Brown. Listen, Marcus Brown sucks. I've always thought Marcus Brown. Marcus Brown is not that good.
But I'm saying, what he's bringing out, he's exposing Zurdo being also like other boxers who ducked a fight that they should have fought and they went somewhere else.
You asked me if I think Gilberto ducked Marcus Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
I mean, if he had a chance to fight for the interim title and he didn't fight him, then yeah, you can say that.
So, I mean, every fighter's done it, I guess.
Hyro says, this has got to be a setup. That Makabu fight made me realize the powers of boxing. Listen, some of you guys think I come on here when I start telling you guys shit about the boxing industry and what it's really like. You guys think I'm coming here to because of fighters and I hate. No, it's real. It's real. It's absolutely real. And the higher levels you get in boxing, the more that stuff becomes prevalent. That's why, like, in a way, it's good. The lower weight classes, the best weight classes, because they got to make for those guys to make money, they got to make the fights happen that people want to see. And it's not going to be as corrupt as like
more political,
a Canelo fight or even fights a heavyweight or welterweight.
BT was telling me about that. Sometimes I don't pay attention to a lot of stuff with my mind and everything. We recently went to go see a trainer, and he called us that. Remember what we told me before we went live? What did you tell me? I won't say his name. What you told me? What the trainer told me?
Mm-hmm.
He said the bigger the fights, the more crazy it gets, right?
Yes, absolutely. Listen, you're talking about tens of millions, and in this case, hundreds of millions of dollars on the line. You think they're gonna leave that shit to chance? You think they're gonna leave it to chance? No. But listen, I wish Biv all the best. You know, he's definitely gonna need it. Because he's not just when you fight Canelo, you're not just fighting Canelo. All right. First of all, when you fight Canelo, you're fighting a damn good fighter because he is an A-level fighter. You can't say he's not an A-level fighter.
All right.
When you fight Canelo, you're fighting an A-level fighter, but you're not just you're fighting him. You're fighting the machine of boxing, the promoters, the judges, the rabid fan base he has. You have the referees. You're fighting everything. So it's a tough task. But I'll tell you this: if Bivol can somehow find a way to overcome the odds, you know, which is a lot of odds. And he's in my opinion, he's a Hall of Famer. Anybody who beats Canelo right now is a Hall of Famer.
Brandon was bringing me up to light, and it's hard for me to grasp all this because when I was in boxing, when I did boxing back in the day, when I was training, doing my thing, it was more, to me, it was honesty was the best policy. I think that don't exist anymore in boxing. When I was back, I'm talking about I was 8, 9 years old in the gym in Boston, in Lowell, Massachusetts, in Western Gym or whatever case me. And what BT brought to my life to me, he says when you watch some of the rappings that happens to Canelo and other fighters, it's like a double standard.
What do you mean?
When you were showing me earlier how some of the fighters rap his
wrap their hands. Yeah. He's talking about the stacking of the gloves. But I don't want to get into all that right now.
I'm not saying that. I'm not trying
to put Canelo down or nothing like that.
I'm not putting Canelo. I think Canelo's going to come in here. He's going to get his $100 million. It's
the positive about it.
The thing is, I'm an honest guy, and honest guys always fucking finish last. I'll excuse my language. I'll say that.
No, not always.
I mean, what I'm getting at is because my integrity is so honest, and thank God that God will love me for always for that, and God bless him. But I'm saying the reality in this world that we're living in, honestly, sometimes not the best policy.
You can be honest. You just gotta pick and choose. You gotta pick and choose. You gotta know how to move with
the sport of boxing. With the sport of boxing.
Yeah. Now, Fresh BX, he not letting it go. He telling you straight up, Canelo definitely be hand stacking.
Oh, see, he called it.
Yeah, it is what it is. Man.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So
hold on, I want to get to this comment from Amuki. He says GGG is the paper IBF champion. The IBF champion is Derevyanchenko, who lost to Jamal Charlo. That means Charlo is WBC and IBF middleweight champion. You know what? I actually agree with you on that because I don't think GGG beat Derevyanchenko. I thought Derevyanchenko gave GGG a fucking beating, and that was really like his true retirement fight.
They gave him a
and they gave it the fight to Golovkin, you know, to keep the dream of of
his career.
Yeah, of his career. So it is what it is, man. But shout out to everybody here at your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. If you got any questions, let me know. But we here, man. BT, Gallo Estrada is screwed. He better make sure he's ready for a war. The Klitschko's at 115 may be a reality. Bam would vacate his belt for his brother because he loves his brother. Oh, did you hear the news?
No.
Joshua, the WBA has ordered Gallo Estrada to fight Joshua Franco next.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the professor's coming. The professor's coming for that ass.
But how old is Franco now? How old is Franco now? How old is he now? He's old now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Him, Estrada, all them guys are pretty old now. So Bam was going to have an advantage, basically.
Thomas H said best. All the riches you get are a curse. You can't take it with you. You can't. But you know where you can take it? You know where you can take it, and you know where Canelo's gonna take it?
To the bank?
To the car dealership and buy one of the Ferraris. You can't take it with you.
But he's calling out the reality. All that money in the world. I know when I was doing security, and I used to see rich people and living, but I used to do security guards for a lot of football players where they lived and everything, and they had all this kind of money, and guess what? It didn't help in the health. It didn't help on everything. Money can't buy you everything. You're correct about that.
Absolutely. Usam and Fanboy Killer is not pulling no punches. Shout out to Usam from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. He says, "Fuck Canelo."
That's it, man.
You know what? Hey, I'm in agreement with you.
So you're basically, do you think those going to be easy fights for Usam?
Did Jamal Charlo beat Korobov, BT? I thought he did barely. Like by the hairs of his chin, he barely beat him. But if anybody would have thought, if Korobov would have got a decision, or if it would have been a draw, I wouldn't have been mad. When is Inoue fighting again, and will they actually televise it this time? We don't know yet, and that's a question for Bob Arum. Why is everybody worried so much about PBC and the money they spent? It sounds like it being biased. Hold on. I haven't mentioned PBC one time in this damn live. This live about the zone.
I have. I said something.
What you said about PBC?
I basically just said that they were not making. I was saying the zone's not making no money, just like PBC. That's why they need a big fight like Canelo.
Well, yeah. Anybody who's followed,
I'm being biased. I'm just telling you what I see.
Anybody who's followed boxing closely and knows anything would know that PBC has been putting up all these pay-per-views to recoup, to try to stay somewhat afloat, because they blew through all the money they got from Waddell and Reed, the hedge fund, when they first started up PBC. And as far as the zone, I know from just talking to Eddie Hearn, he says your headline. Oh, well, yeah. The zone get. Hold on, my headline. What my headline say? Let me make sure. Hold on. My headline says that the zone pay-per-view is exposed. Okay, how PBC is not mentioned in the damn headline? So you just pulling shit out of thin air. Listen, you pulling things out of thin air.
Yeah, I mean, coming.
Hey, hold on. Explain to me how that's about PBC, because in my headline, the headline literally says Canelo nearing deal to fight Bivol on GGG. DAZN pay-per-view exposed, and they are being exposed because DAZN is the same company that when they first came out, they're the ones that said, well, we're abolishing pay-per-view. They had the famous commercial of Tracy Morgan. Pay-per-view is dead.
Yeah.
But now they're going on pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But it's not about bias, but nothing what we said.
It's not about being biased.
I think it hurt your feelings. You're part of PBC.
Charlo definitely put in a good performance against Derevenchenko, but we should consider that he beat Sergey Derevenchenko after 2 physically taxing fights against Jacobs and GGG. Charlo still did great, though. Yeah, he did. Nobody should take away Charlo's performance on that night. And
I'm going to say about Charlo is if he had kept the same mentality he's had in the last few years, that he probably felt disappointment. I think he would have been more of a better fight than any other fight, but because of the way he's been, how he's been the last couple of years, I feel that he did it to himself. He hurt himself.
Shout out to my main man and my barber. I gotta go see you soon, Chef. I got my haircut.
He said, send you some blessings to your family.
I heard Gamboa is fighting Isaac Cruz, and that's
I see that.
What that was
no, I see that. I see that on Cerebro Spanish channel that I also watch.
That's really happening.
They were just talking about it. He was just talking about if that fight happens. Yeah, there's nothing is written in stone, but that's what they're saying. I was watching it in the Spanish channel, Cerebro Sports. He was talking about it. That'd be a good fight for people, because even though Gamboa's an old guy, his name is still being played in existence because of his name. He's still making money fights, even though he gets a lot of hurts all the time. But the reality is, for people, it would just bring his resume better because he's fighting somebody with the last name Gamboa.
I mean, but at this point,
that's not written in stone.
He's fighting. Listen, if me and you are going in on Devin Haney saying he's fighting the corpse of Gamboa, then that means Isaac Cruz is fighting the corpse of Gamboa. Like, credit to Gamboa. Like, get your money, do what you got to do. But I don't like that fight.
I don't like it. But I
think Gamboa's gonna hurt that fight.
No, I know that.
I don't like that fight.
Gamboa's getting hurt a lot. But
Yoasis, for the love of God and everything that is righteous and pure, make sure you continuously pray over that man, because that's a tough fight.
Yeah, I think Gamboa gets hurt. He's old. His time is up. But as long as he's not back, but Cerebro will say was having that last name will be more exposure to Pitbull, and that's true. He's trying to get his name out here more. I mean, your best boy, your favorite fighter, Ryan Garcia, didn't want to fight him. So how's he going to get more exposure? He's got to find a way to do it. So why not?
Yeah, we'll see. Usam says that he being Canelo, will stop GGG, and Bivol will give him a tough fight, but he will get robbed regardless. They will give him the benefit of the doubt for winning half a round. You negative Nancy's. I guess I'm negative too, because I agree. I agree, man. Hopefully.
I say Gigi's gonna be 40 years old. I don't think he's not a GG old like he was before at all.
Fuck all those promotional companies. Are those people are boxing fans? Listen, these promotional companies are not boxing. Like there's multiple people in boxing that I know, promoters, that don't even like boxing. You talked if you guys watched the interview that was on the Fight Hype this week with Joe Markowski, who's like the guy that's the director of programming for DAZN. He's that British dude with the scruffy beard and the blonde hair and he's always doing this shit with his hair.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe Markowski, he don't talk about boxing. He talks about profit margins, subscribers.
It sounds like the stock is changing.
He talk. These guys don't care about the sport. They just care about what's gonna move the needle, and it's a business to them. And listen, there's no problem with it being a business to them. But again, they're not the fans. Network executives, promoters, they come and go, but the boxing fans is forever. So that's who you got to work on serving. That's why, look, right now, if somebody asks me, BT, who's your favorite promoter? My favorite promoter is Ben Shalom. It's not Eddie. I like Ben Shalom because I mean, for those of you who don't know who Ben Shalom is this local UK promoter. Not local, but he's a young promoter in the UK, 28 years old. And Sky Sports just gave him a bunch of money. He's pretty much taking the spot of Matchroom on Sky Sports now. And he's doing a lot of great things. I mean, he's got people excited about women's boxing with the Shields and Marshall situation and that fight happening. Mm-hmm. He made the Khan Brook fight something that no promoter, not Eddie Hearn, not Frank Warren, nobody can do. He did that. He just gave us a great fight with Liam Williams and Eubank over the weekend. Yeah. And he's got more in store. And it's funny today on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I made a post on Instagram today. I don't know if you saw it, but I'm campaigning for Jaime Munguia if he wins his next fight against Demetrius Ballard on the 19th to fight Chris Eubank Jr. next. There really is zero reason why Munguia shouldn't fight Eubank Jr. next because they said Andre was boring, right? And Eubank ain't, boring, so to speak. And he's got a big name in the UK. He's going to bring a lot of eyeballs to the fight along with Munguia and his big Mexican fan base. So it makes a lot of sense. And Ben Shalom actually like to post today on Instagram. So maybe, just maybe.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about him, and he just calls it the way it is. I never expected him to just say something. You thought what he said to Shields, that was just to bring light to the boxing. He's young. He doesn't care who's around him. He's going to say what he feels, and he's going to call it the way he calls it.
That's it.
Ain't no hiding in between. Ain't no politics in between.
Yeah. You also said, yes, for sure, we'll be praying for him. Absolutely, yeah. Because Isaac Cruz, he comes to knock your block off. And Gamboa, I know he's a savvy, very experienced veteran fighter, but at some point in time, Father Time is undefeated, and you don't
play with that forever.
Yeah. They can't let Isaac Cruz take 2 L's in a row. It would ruin the illusion of Gervonta Davis. Oh, the biggest star in boxing. Yeah. Usam says Ben needs a better stable long term, or else he will not cut it. Well, listen, he's still young in the game. Give him some time. Let him learn his craft in the boxing industry, and we'll see what he can do. But right now, I like what he's doing. If he keeps giving people the fights and trying to put his best foot forward, then that's all we can ask for.
And isn't Malajani like his consultant or something? Malajani?
He's a commentator.
Oh, that's what he does for him?
He might be a consultant. I don't know about that.
I'm just asking you. I thought you said he's working for them
as a commentator. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gio Park says Mr. Honda from Tekken Promotions is a good promoter. Also, shout out to him. He promoted Bam versus Quadras, and he also promoting Cholatito versus Martinez this year. You know what? How could I be so disrespectful? Listen, Ben Shalom is cool. And all these promoters are cool, but they will never, ever measure up to the greatness of Akira Honda, a.k.a. Mr. Honda. Yeah. The Al Heyman of Japan.
And he's real quiet, too. That you don't hear much about him, but he puts
much. You don't hear anything about him.
No, that's what I'm saying. He just put the fights on.
This is the guy that's responsible for building Cholatito's career.
Yeah, amen.
So he's the man to me. But yeah, man. As far as the Canelo situation, look, I'm gonna tell you guys this. I don't know if the fight's gonna be fixed. I think the Bivol fight is going to be... Honestly, guys, look, I hate to say it, but I'm going to be real. I think the Bivol fight is going to be extremely fixed. I hope it's not, but I think it will be. In the event that it is or it isn't, it don't matter. I'm taking advantage of it. People are going to care about this fight. I'll go to Texas or wherever the hell the fight's at. I'll be at this fight.
Yeah.
The same way I'll be at Spence versus Ugas. The same way I'll be at Ryan Garcia versus Tego. The same way I'll be at Cholatito versus Martinez. I'm going to be at all these fights to support the sport of boxing. Because, look, even though I don't like Canelo and I don't like, what goes on with his career, I'm sure there's going to be a fighter on the undercard that I'm going to want to see. So we're there to support the fighters on the undercard that aren't in corrupt fights.
That's right.
You can listen. I'm a glass half full type of guy. So even if Bivol takes a dive, listen, there's still going to be plenty of fights on the undercard, and surely there's going to be at least one fighter on the undercard that I could rally around and get excited about. So imagine if this guy goes to a Canelo fight.
Oh my Lord!
I better bring security if I bring him, because this guy is nuts.
Both him and also.
The rumors are that GGG versus Canelo 3 will be in Mexico.
Oh wow!
What do you think about that, Pops?
I mean,
because you do know Canelo does want to fight in the Estadio Azteca, the big soccer stadium.
That's fine. I mean, look at
he wants to do what Chavez did.
Listen, Canelo's A side. GG is the C side. Doesn't matter wherever he goes. He doesn't deserve anything anyways. He hasn't been fighting. So go get your retirement check wherever you can get it. And if you can get in Mexico, no disrespect to what I'm saying, if you can get in your retirement check in Mexican pesos, well, so be it. Bring that money back over here, it'll be worth nothing.
I'm pretty sure they're not gonna pay him in pesos.
I'm just joking, man.
I
I just can't stand.
If anything, he's probably gonna get paid in pounds.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because the Zone's a British company.
Yeah.
They get paid in pounds probably, or don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I just Canelo could blow him off the water.
Yeah, so it is what it is, man. But that's
hey, you see what Jacob say? He wants the next title fight if he beats Ryder. Jacobs is done, isn't he?
I didn't click on the interview, but I saw that Jacobs was saying that he'll let the Canelo rematch at 168 because this time he'll be weight drained. What do you think?
He's done, man.
What you think? Because this guy, just so you guys know, this guy right here, when Canelo fought Jacobs, this guy right here was saying Jacobs, Brooklyn, all this stuff. And I told Pops, I said, calm down. Daniel Jacobs is gonna do what he does every fight. He's gonna talk a good game, and when them lights come on, he's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, I think he's done.
And then when the lights came on, not only did he not do anything,
yeah,
he made Canelo look like the Mexican Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, so basically, I think this is, for me, should be his last fight. You made enough money. You overcame cancer. God bless you. It's time for you to move on.
Bad Hombre says, you're still hating, bro. Jesus Christ. What have I said here that's hating? What have I said? I'm not hating. You know what? You know this. Okay, the gloves are coming off. The glove. I'm trying to keep it like a civil stream, but I've had it with you Canelo fans. Whenever I don't freaking say anything that's not, whenever I don't glorify Canelo as if he's Jesus Christ, you guys say it's hating. All right. Like, what did I say? That Bivol might take a dive? It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. Kovalev took the damn dive. It's not like fighters against Canelo haven't taken dives already.
At the end of the day,
Bivol will probably take a dive. Well, yeah, he will.
We'll watch the fight and go.
We'll see. We'll see if Bivol comes. Listen, if Bivol goes in there and he's not throwing his jab like he normally does, or throwing his right hand like he normally does, then we know what's up. We know because when Kovalev fought Canelo, right? This guy has one of the best. He has one of the best jabs in the sport. All of a sudden, he fights Canelo. He's pawing with with the jab the whole fight. Man. He puts the right hand in his pocket. I mean,
when you see him doing, when have you seen a Russian do a Mexican dance and be happy about it?
I don't know.
You got that money, boy. So yeah, just everybody got their own opinion. Keep it respect. We'll move on.
Let me see. Fuck every single Canelo fan because they're a disgrace to humanity.
Hey,
shit.
You can't say nothing bad about him.
I'm not gonna say all, but I'm gonna say most. Yeah. I'm gonna say most.
Not all, but most.
If he doesn't fight a guy, he's scared. If he does fight, it'll probably be fixed. If he doesn't fight a guy, he's scared. Well, no, the guys that he's scared of are the guys he's not fighting. I mean, he's fighting Bivol. Congratulations to him, but I mean, like, I'm just saying. Look, I'm not saying the fight's gonna be a dive. I'm saying but I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling it out because. My question is: I'm just having a conversation. I'm posing a question. If the fight is going to be fair, right? If the fight's going to be fair,
right?
Then why are they already giving you the date for Canelo versus GGG3? Answer me that question.
Like basically,
because if he's fighting Bivol, it's not a foregone conclusion. Yeah, so why are you giving? They're telling you, in my opinion, that's telling you in plain sight that Canelo's winning no matter what. You may say that's hating, but that's how I see it.
Yeah. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
You know, Bivol can't read English. They'll tell him where to sign.
Right?
Yeah, man. Kovalev was fixed. It was a glorified sparring. Yeah, I mean, I was very disappointed. I used to be a big Sergey Kovalev fan, but that was the fight.
That time I lost respect for him.
That was the fight where I was like, you know what? I can't respect Kovalev the same because of the fact that, you know, he threw the fight.
And then he came back.
Now El Mas Chingon,
come down,
I don't want to curse. But he says, fuck all Canelo haters, bitch ass mouth. You would never say that to my face. I'll smack the fucking taste out your mouth. He says it in my face. Like on God. But you know what? I'm not gonna argue with you. You're just gonna get blocked. I don't got time for Canelo fans that want to sit here and pop shit. Because when I go to these Canelo fights by myself, you guys have nothing to say. And then a week or two later, I get emails, people saying, "Oh, I saw you at the Canelo fight and this, that, and the third," and they want to talk all this stuff. So I don't got nothing to say to nobody. I love everybody. God bless you, but I'm not.
And this live was actually glorifying.
I've actually been
and talking good about Canelo. Actually having legitimate opponents, and you still Canelo fans are blinded by the fact.
And this goes back to what I'm saying, right? I can sit here because I was just talking to someone about this today. I've been trying to tell. I was telling a friend today. I was like, you know, I'm trying to let the Canelo Andre thing go, but every time I try to let it go, I'll be on a live, right? I'll be on a live talking about like super flyweights, right, something that has nothing to do with Canelo. And then someone will ask me questions like, "Why don't you like Canelo?" Or they'll say something about Andre. Yeah. And then when I give them what I actually believe, then they say, "Oh, well, you're just being a hater." Well, if I'm being a hater, and if I'm being a hater, and you knew you were gonna get that answer, then don't ask me the question. Go to listen. Go to the other Canelo channels. You go to Pheno Boxing, Little Giant. Go to punk ass IBFP. Go to them channels. They love Canelo. They'll massage your earlobes.
And at the end of the day, you better keep right this date and time. This video right here, we will not say nothing bad about Canelo.
All I'm saying is the only thing I've said bad about Canelo, mildly bad, was that I think that there's a possibility that Bivol can take a dive, which is not crazy to say because we've already seen it happen before.
That's a possibility.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen.
It's a possibility. Listen,
it does me zero good to talk bad about Canelo. It actually does me bad, if anything. Yeah, it does me bad.
At the end of the day, I'm just gonna put it this way: kudos to Canelo, but every champion's gonna get the throne sooner or later, whenever it happens.
He already got the throne. He lost to Floyd.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, all you Canelo fans, stop being closed-minded and just understand everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Keep Tahoe Blue says the Lomachenko hate from you is much more than the Canelo hate. You think so? Because truthfully, look, I don't really like Lomachenko like that, and I don't like Canelo either. The fighter that I really dislike the most right now in boxing, if y'all want the truth, and he might know where I'm going with this. If y'all want to know who I dislike the most, it's not Canelo or Lomachenko. You know who I don't like, and you know who needs to lose soon? Freaking Mark Magsayo. I can't stand Mark Magsayo. Yeah. Mark Magsayo is the worst Filipino to ever touch a world title in the history of boxing, and they're trying to make him into the next Manny Pacquiao, and it's not there. It's not. He might develop. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Maybe he can develop. But I dislike Mark Magsayo more than any of those guys. And if you don't believe me, go back to the live when Gary Russell Jr. didn't win. You know. I don't even like Canelo, but he's a beast. Though he's a fantastic fighter. I can't take that from him. I'm just.
Well, basically, BG saying is whether he's something good or something bad, or throw flowers on Canelo.
It doesn't matter what I say.
Always got one Canelo friend that comes in alive, or always want to try to throw hate on that we have against him. We don't. Tonight we're very happy for Canelo. He's fighting Bivol. He's fighting legitimate opponents. So we give him his flowers, and so be it. You get one guy that gets his feelings hurt because we're talking about whatever the case about Canelo. And honestly, I will punch your fucking lights out too if I was in front of you. I mean, I'm being honest with you.
If by fixed, you mean Bivol will probably get robbed, then you're correct. Well, that's a form of being fixed. I mean, you can fix a fight in many ways. Yeah. Being fixed doesn't just mean taking a dive. Like you can fix a fight by buying off a judge. You can fix a fight by buying off a ref. And you can, but the most sure way to fix a fight is by having a fighter take a dive. So there's many different ways to skin a cat.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, what BG is basically saying is, he's looking at how the contract and how it's been written up for Canelo. They're already saying that basically what they're saying, in other words, after we beat Bivol, no matter how we do it, we gotta fight GG. And and what I'm trying to understand, he's basically saying like, give people a chance. You're not even doing that. You're already going over that already.
Now, I want to address it because I keep getting this comment. When I made the comments about Bivol's contract, I don't actually physically have the draft contract in front of me. What I meant when I said was the way they structure the fights. Like they have Bivol fighting first. They're giving you the date. They have Golovkin fighting second. They're giving you the date. That's what I said was fucked up. I'm saying because right to the average person, right, these fights are all fair, right?
Right.
So if the fights are all fair, then why are the dates in place? Because it's not a foregone conclusion he's gonna beat these guys. That's all I'm saying.
Right. But we've seen that in other cases too. We have other fighters that they're gonna fight somebody, and then already they blow off that fight. You're already talking about another fight before they finish this fight over here. So
because you know who does that, right? Prospects do that. Yeah. Like normally like I use like Xander Zayas for example, right? Like when Top Rank is moving Xander Zayas through his career, they have fights scheduled already because they're putting him in there with guys they know he's gonna beat. So you have him fighting in March, you have him fighting 1 month, and have him fighting the next. You know, guys like at that level don't do that. Mm-hmm. So I'm just questioning. I'm just questioning. I'm not sitting here saying it's outright a dive.
He's not saying these are facts. He's not saying this. He's just throwing it out there. He has just like you guys have your opinions. BT has his opinion. You might not like his opinion because whatever the case may be, just as we're saying he might not like yours. But don't come here and throw hate flowers. But we're not doing it to nobody. I
like Canelo, but the criticisms are legit. You know what's funny? Look. I'm gonna tell you guys something. I'm talking about Canelo strictly as a boxer. I'm not talking about him as a businessman. I'm not talking about him as far as how his career is. I'm just talking about his overall skill set, his style, how he fights. I actually like Canelo.
Yeah.
I actually like watching him fight.
Hey, he likes Canelo so much that his future wife is Mexican and he doesn't do Mexican dance. You ever see Brandon do the Mexican dance?
Anyway.
Yeah. So you all can hate whatever you want, but he gonna love the Mexican flag one way or another.
Some of Canelo fights do look fixed. I think some of them, not all of them, but some of them.
Yeah, not all of them.
Lara beat Canelo handily, in my opinion. I disagree. I actually disagree. I used to think the same thing. But I went back and I watched that fight multiple times.
You watched it?
I've watched it multiple. When he fought Saunders, I watched that fight like 3 times that week.
Right.
And I actually, the body work that Canelo was doing in that fight was very underrated. And he actually has yet to get the credit he truly deserves for that performance.
Did you guys just hear what BT just said about Canelo?
That's what I think.
But I'm just saying, do you guys, the haters are hating on us? Do you hear what he just said about Canelo? He's giving credit to the face of boxing.
Yeah, but GGG has a Murata contract signed already. Yeah, he has to win. They have to both win the next fights for this to happen. So,
we'll see what happens.
Hopefully, look, if that's the case, listen, I'm we team Murata, team Bivol. I like that. There's nothing more that I enjoy being a boxing fan and being someone who covers the sport, that when boxing has they have their plans for big fights, when someone comes and just fucks with the plans. I love that type of stuff.
And let's be clear about it. We're not even talking about Andre anymore. We're talking about what happened for the opponents Canelo's got.
Yeah, because look,
we haven't mentioned a lot about Bivol Andre. So give us some credit where credit is due.
Is Mark Magsayo the worst champion in boxing today? Absolutely, not even close.
Yeah.
Like at least with Canelo, we talking about we talk about Canelo Alvarez. We're talking about a creme de la creme A-level fighter. We talk about Mark Magsayo. Oh my God, this guy has no jab. He doesn't know how to cut the ring off. I mean, the dude is extremely raw. And the minute he steps up to 126, he's gonna get his shit pushed back
quickly,
extremely quickly.
Yeah.
If it's not Ray Vargas, it'll be Angelillo when he moves up.
Ooh.
It'll be one of them two.
Yeah.
Like I don't like how now you could say he won the fight against Russell, but I don't like how people use the hatred for Gary Russell to say that Mark Magsayo won the fight easily. He didn't win the fight easily. If he won it easily, why was it a majority decision?
And I'll be honest, I was on.
Why was it a majority decision?
I was on the Mark. His name is Machado's train. But the reality is, if he was as good as he was, why did he take Russell out?
Because I'll tell you this.
One hand. Russell was that fight with one hand.
I'll tell you this. If that was Gervonta Davis or if that was Gervonta Davis or like who else? Yeah, who was the 126?
A whole bunch of people.
Navarrete. Yeah. Those guys would have been much more effective on the front foot than
At the end of the day, he didn't do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
He fought a guy and I was blinded myself, but the reality is Russell fought a great fight with one hand to even last as long as he did. He didn't get the credit he was due. I was blinded about saying he's inactive and all this other shit, but the reality is, if Mark Magsayo was as good as Sean Gibbons, and everybody said he was, he should use both hands, not one. It's not Magsayo, both hands, and take care of business. And he didn't do that.
Okay. If Canelo loses to Bivol, it'll probably be to Bivol, not GGG. Common sense in boxing, really.
Well,
fights where B-sides have rematch clauses are never fixed. The B-side can make 2 to 3 times the original money by defeating a Canelo.
Both of these fights have rematch clauses on them?
So
because Eddie Hearn is famous for that.
I mean,
Eddie Hearn is famous for that.
No, I'm sorry. You can call me a cynic. You can call me a cynical asshole, but listen, any fights that are making upwards of $20 to $30 million and whatnot, anything could be fixed.
Yeah,
like
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna let that go. I'm just gonna watch the fight and enjoy the fight.
Yeah, but that one thing I will say is I don't think Lara beat Canelo. I truthfully don't think Lara beat Canelo.
After you've seen the fight,
it's very. Listen, I don't like Canelo at all. I really don't like him because of what happened with Andre. I have a very sour taste in my mouth because of the Andre thing. It'd be very easy to me, and sometimes in the past when I would get mad, I would say like Lara beat him, but no.
Yeah.
Lara did not beat Canelo. Canelo body shots the way he walked him down, the way he effectively chopped that body down, you know, he won the fight. Bad Hombre says some guys even say that the Yildirim fight was fixed. It wasn't fixed. It was just a mismatch. That shit didn't need to be fixed. He fought Yildirim. He fought the guy that knocked out by Eubank. You saw Eubank.
Yep.
We watched that fight recently. We just rewatched that fight recently.
Yep.
You saw what the fuck Eubank did to Abdi Yildirim?
She played with him. Yep.
That fight didn't have to be fixed.
Nope.
Shit was such a mismatch. That's why when it got made, you know, I was complaining about it because I know it's a mismatch.
Yeah. And I mean, he also fought, what's the other guy? Do you honestly think that Rocky Fielding was actually a legit I can't speak English no more, legitimate contender for Canelo? No.
He had a belt.
Okay, he got a belt, but to me, that doesn't mean shit.
I mean, the Rocky Fielding fight was just it was his first fight of the zone. They were trying to get a good win to look good on the network. Like, so I know why it happened.
You get that.
Like, I know why the Rocky Fielding fight happened. You know, it was the first zone fight for Canelo. It was his first fight ever at Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Okay.
And it was his first fight ever at 168. So you know, 3 firsts. They weren't going to put him in there with somebody who was a killer.
Right.
So Rocky Fielding had a variation of the belt. They put him in there with him. You know, it is what it is. Was it a competitive matchup on paper? No, and it showed in the ring on the night. So Kovalev was literally pulling his punches on Canelo, leaning and giving every opportunity to get knocked out. How old are you, and would you consider fighting first as an amateur? I'm 20. Well, I'll be 27 on Friday. My birthday's coming up. But as far as fighting amateur,
and I'm 35.
He ain't 35.
53.
he put that shit backward. But as far as fighting amateur, I'll be honest with you. I never really had any ambitions to fight as it. Well, I did when I was younger. Right now, I don't. If I ever was gonna fight, I would just really bury myself in a boxing gym and spar hundreds of rounds with top fighters. And go pro. I really have no ambition for amateurs because the amateurs is more corrupt than the pros, to be honest.
You said what I was going to say, so I'll leave it alone.
Huh?
No, you said what I was going to say. That a lot of the cases is that because BT knows more, he hasn't told me everything about boxing because I'll go nuts. I'll go freaking nuts.
We got a super chat. Shout out to my man Jonathan Simon with a $2 super chat. You guys know the deal. When we get those super chats, Don King comes out and Don King talks to the people. So talk to him, Don.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
Right.
And we're letting the good times roll here on True School Sports. Shout out to Jonathan Simon with the $2 super chat. We appreciate you.
Man.
He says Canelo would have never fought Kovalev before the Andre Ward fight. Hell no. And plus, if you guys remember, if you go back and you watch, like, what was it? I can't remember what fight it was. I think I was watching I was rewatching Cholatita versus Williams Arroyo about a week ago.
Right.
And on that telecast, they were talking about Canelo versus Golovkin because at that time, the negotiations for that fight were taking place. And even back then, they were like, yo, Canelo Alvarez isn't even a real middleweight.
Jeez.
Back then.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how now a guy that was never considered to even be a real middleweight, who was actually threatening to scrap the Golovkin fight if Golovkin didn't fight him at 155, is now fighting at 175 now. You know,
it's what it is.
You could say it's hard work. You know, I'm not saying he don't work hard, but I'm not saying he's not getting a little bit of help either. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Canelo.
But we can't. We said that in one of the lives. We cannot take that away from him.
He works hard.
Canelo is one of the hardest boxers in boxing that goes in that gym. As soon as he gets in that ring, from the time he goes in to try and get out, is not by sweats and balls.
I'm just saying. Like, okay, I'm gonna come on and ask everybody and ask Pops.
Yeah.
Do you think Canelo is fighting without steroids? Do you think he's a clean fighter?
He's always going to have that question regardless of what happened in the past.
Do you think he's legitimate? Because look,
that's what I'm going to say.
Canelo Alvarez, like he turned pro. Like I know he turned pro when he was young, so obviously your body grows and you mature over time. Right. But like he turned pro at 47 pounder. Right. How is he fighting at 175?
I'm just going to say like this: he's always, regardless if he serves suspension or whatever, there's always going to be that question.
I'm not trying to hate. I'm just asking a question.
Yeah,
like
I think when they had that thing with the whatever it's called, the meat eating thing, whatever. But I don't remember that shit. Whatever it was, he ate the hot dog, whatever case it was. because that happened, no matter how you look at it, there's always going to be a question behind that. And I'll just leave it like that. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and move on.
Hey BT, have you heard any news about Ivan Baranchyk? Is he done fighting? Well,
I still fight.
I don't know. I haven't heard any news on Baranchyk. I saw him. I actually saw him in the stands at the Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin fight, but I see him at other local fights. He's not
retired yet.
He's not retired, but man, he ain't too far off because.
God bless him.
God bless him. He gave us the fight of like the millennium against Jose Zepeda.
And the last 2 fights he's had, to me, it's been like real bad. I mean, I pray for him, whatever he does in his career, but I think sometimes you just gotta hang it out at some time. It
is what it is. Dundada says, BT, let's keep it real. No one and their mama thought Canelo was gonna fight over 160, let alone to 170. Nobody. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking the questions I'm asking.
You gotta give credit where credit.
I remember those times.
He wants to make history, jump weight classes, and feel that's the way to do it. So be it. I just think that I'll be honest with you, constantly jumping from one weight class to another weight class and doing all that. At the end of the day, that's gonna be the worst thing for you, health-wise.
I think Canelo's real weight class is 168. Well, hey, shout out to him. He went undisputed in his real weight class. If you want to ask that question about Canelo, we have to ask that a lot. I do ask that question because I know for a fact that most fighters are on PEDs at that top level. I mean, and look, I'm to a point where like I know a lot of people want to virtue signal and talk about PEDs and whatnot, and they pick and choose who they have outrage for when it comes to PEDs. But it's to a point where like I actually think steroids should be legal. Like I think boxing should become more transparent. Like it's easy for people to say, oh well, this isn't baseball. But you know what? Look, if people are gonna use the damn PEDs anyway, then fuck, make it legal. If they're gonna, because look, the way boxing works is.
But the danger with that is, when you jeopardize the other opponent who's doing it the right way, the clean way, and
at least
you can jeopardize somebody's life in the ring.
Steroids should be legal because they're gonna do this shit anyway. And at least if a fighter knows that another fighter is on steroids, they have the choice to take steroids or not themselves.
Okay.
They have the choice, and then they could be on an even playing field.
But some fighters, based on their morals and their issues, they're not going to go with that.
Listen, I'm telling you right now. That's all that you talking is bullshit. All that you talking is bullshit. I know plenty of fighters who are clean. I know plenty of fighters right now that are clean. That if they had the option to take steroids and it was legal, they would do it.
No.
Because at the end of the day, look, steroids apart from steroids, right? Like going to these 8-week camps, sparring, running mountains, all this stuff, it takes a toll on your body. Listen, and sometimes, steroids could be necessary to be covered.
Every athlete tries to find the easiest way out. Honestly, they do.
Like,
and sometimes
I think baseball should be by steroids too.
The easiest way out is not the best way.
But my thing is, if it's legal and if the fighters have to report, like my thing is this: steroids should be legal in boxing as long as the fighters report what steroids they're using within like 10 days of the fight, or within like a month or two of the fight. That way, okay, if this guy is using synthetic testosterone, in advance, so you can use synthetic testosterone and you won't feel bad about it. You have a clear conscience. You have a clear conscience. Okay. All right. I don't think. Listen, personally, look. In a fair and just and righteous world, we wouldn't need to have steroids, but we don't. You know this better than me. We don't live in a righteous world. Yeah. So it is what it is, Shout out to my man. Hold on, I see an interesting comment. My man Gregory Hogan said, where is it? He says, black fighters don't need steroids. Tell that to Jarrell Miller. Tell that to Jarrell Miller and plenty of others. Fuck that. Keep it clean or more die from PEDs. Well, I would love to see it. This whole channel retarded talking about using PEDs. Well, they do it anyway. They do it anyway. Whether I talk about, they're saying that we're being stupid because I'm condoning these PEDs. I'm not condoning. Listen, you guys have me confused. I'm not condoning these PEDs. What I'm condoning is the fighters fighting on a level playing field. Why should one fighter be allowed to take steroids unbeknownst to another fighter, and the other fighter who did it the clean way is in jeopardy? Why can't the other fighter know what he's taking beforehand and then have the option to take it himself?
Well, that's why they have supposedly these testing people. What do you call agencies?
Huh?
The BADA, whatever. All these agencies are there for.
All these agencies aren't even clean. I'm not gonna get into that, but
So I mean,
they're not even clean.
We're not being retarded. We're just posing another question. That's what I'm making your mind more expand and see what's going on.
Now, this is a real question. A real question about a real fight. BT and Pops. Chocolatito versus Martinez. How do you guys see the fight playing out? I think it's first of all. Let me start off by saying I think it's an awesome fight. Credit to Martinez for stepping up to the plate to take on one of boxing's true warriors in Romo Gonzalez, a future Hall of Famer. I think it's an amazing fight. I think Chocolatito's at that age where like any fight he can get old overnight, and Martinez has the youth and the power to cause him some problems. But he throws a lot of wide shots as well. So I think Chocolatito is going to have his chances to get Martinez out of there. If Chocolatito doesn't get old overnight and if the guy from the Gallo Estrada rematch shows up to this fight, I think Martinez pushes him. I think Martinez even takes him in trouble in parts of this fight. But I just think Chocolatito's punches and his angles are still a little too sharp for Martinez, who in his last fight got dropped by McWilliams Arroyo. Arroyo's a good fighter. Arroyo's a good fighter. But Arroyo is a punch selection. He's a lot more straight up and down than Chocolatito. Chocolatito's in the punches, he's in a pivot. He's going to be doing all kinds of stuff with the angles. So I think his style is great to beat a guy like Martinez. But I'm not counting out Martinez. I think he has a chance. But I'm going to go with Chocolatito by like a late stoppage.
Yeah, I will say that Martinez coming to fight a legend like Chocolatito. It could be the changing of the guard. And why not be a fighter like Martinez, who's bringing you to the thing and taking the throne or more than passing the torch. But at the same token, on Chocolatito's side, I'm a big thing. What's my favorite word, brother?
Experience.
Experience. So I will still not sleep on Chocolatito, but I just think Martinez, with his youth and his power and being a lot younger, it could play a big part in the fight.
Okay. How about Stevenson versus Valdez? Who you got?
Who?
Corey Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. Who you got?
I got motherfucking Stevenson.
Why not Valdez?
I like Valdez, but Valdez, beat the shit out of show a lot of things what he did. And I'm a big fan of Valdez, but I just think what I seen from Shakur, the last fight, he showed me something that you've been telling me for the longest time. He doesn't show all his tools in the box, so to speak, until you push him to that level, and he showed me what he came about.
Absolutely. Dundada says, BT, I'm glad you said this because I think the same. Remember Nate Diaz exposed all the top fighters in the UFC using steroids. Yeah, and everybody loves UFC.
Oh, they said that?
Nobody thinks any less of all these UFC fighters because they're taking steroids. So my thing is this, man. Like, listen. Boxing has two choices, but you can't be in the middle. You can't be lukewarm with this stuff. Either have more transparent testing for the fighters and really crack down on fighter safety. And listen, because boxing does this a lot. Like I'm not gonna name no names.
Yeah.
But I know fighters right now who are big names, some that are actually scheduled to fight within the next month or two.
Right.
That I know are on PEDs, but the public doesn't know they're on PEDs.
Wow.
And if I told you who they were, you'd be very disappointed. But like boxing and the agencies don't report these guys until they're not making money or they have something against them, then they'll report it.
They hold it against them.
They hold it against them, and then when they extract what they need, then they
put the whip out there.
Then they report it, right? So my thing is this: you don't wait till it makes business sense to expose these guys. If these guys pop dirty, you expose them immediately. You have some damn integrity, and you expose them immediately. And if you're not going to do that, then make steroids legal. So fighter A knows a fighter B's taken, and fighter B knows a fighter A's taken, and they could be on an even playing field. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with the steroids. You know what I'm saying? Jiho Park says, do you think Ryan Garcia has been cycling PEDs during his time off? Of course. And by the way, just because a fighter's on steroids, it doesn't make them a better fighter, but it does help them recover faster. And that can help them win a fight. I wanted to answer Gregory's question because I didn't answer. You answered, but I didn't. As far as Stevenson versus Valdez, I think it's a good fight. I think there hasn't really been a fighter that I can think of that's fought Shakur Stevenson that's pushed the pace on him, that's really like brought the fight to him.
Yeah.
And I think Valdez, win, lose, or draw, is gonna bring the fight to Shakur. So I believe Shakur has the tools to beat him, but how does how does if this fight goes to the back half, how does Shakur's stamina hold up? How does he react to Valdez actually taking him into a dogfight later in the fight? You know, I'm not so sure, but if I had to bet on this fight, I would go for Shakur to win. Not just by decision.
No. Devastating.
By stoppage. I'm talking about he's put an exclamation point, because the reason I'm saying that is because not because I'm down and down Valdez or nothing like that. I think Valdez is a hell of a fighter.
Great, yeah.
But I just think Valdez is gonna come to fight, you know, and he's gonna give Shakur a lot of chances to counterpunch him. And when Shakur starts landing these counter punches, he's gonna grow in confidence and push the pace as the fight goes on. So I mean, that's what it is.
This, for me, I think this would be the biggest test that Shakur, as far as a legitimate opponent, to come in there and do his thing. So yeah.
Hey, I gotta listen. I haven't agreed with everything Fidel Martinez has said, but I agree with him here. He says black fighters don't need steroids. Tell it to Sugar Shane Mosley when he fought Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah, Sugar Shane Mosley, freaking Victor Conte was sticking EPO up Shane Mosley's ass. If
you better not buy snack, okay?
No, I'm serious. Yeah. Victor Conte actually admitted this. He said he stuck a needle of EPO up Shane Mosley's ass.
So why do they still allow him to do snack bullshit then and do all these fighters now?
Listen, because he changed his life. He repented. Now listen.
Oh, God bless him.
Listen. If you go and you watch that Sugar Shane, listen, I want you to watch that fight. Sugar Shane Mosley versus Oscar De La Hoya 1 at the Staples Center. I watched that fight a couple years ago. No. Shane Mosley was on the juice like a motherfucker. I mean, this guy
nothing,
just
moving around.
He didn't get tired. Like he I can't explain it. You just have to watch it. You have to watch it. Like it just doesn't look normal.
A picture of worth 1,000 words.
You watch boxing, so if you watch that fight, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like you'll see what I'm talking about.
Good point, man.
You know,
thank you.
But Dandara says PEDs are not taboo in sports, but they are mostly used for recovery. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. These fighters take a lot of punishment in the gym, and boxing is wear and tear on the body. So I'm just saying, man, like, why not let them? Why not?
So what's
nobody listen. Listen.
So is that happening?
I'm gonna burst everybody.
What's gonna happen to anti-doping bodies and all this shit? Get rid of them.
Listen, they're all these anti-doping, VADA, USADA, they're all full of shit. They're all full of shit, and they can all be manipulated by the sanctioning bodies if you just pay them all.
More money.
All right, they're all full of shit. Honestly, everybody has all this virtue signaling and fake outrage about drug testing and PED use in boxing. But you know what's funny, Pop? Let me tell you something. If people cared about drugs like they say they do PEDs in boxing, then how come the VADA YouTube channel doesn't have 1,000 subscribers?
Oh, that's some crazy shit you put.
Why don't if everybody in boxing cares about PEDs and fighter safety so much, why does the VADA YouTube channel have hold on? Well, let me check because I don't.
BT called me on this, but BT's like
I don't want to have false
no, but you did tell me about
information. I want to know the exact number.
BT told me.
Oh, my bad. It's even worse than I thought. If everybody cared about drug testing so much, why on God's green earth does the VADA YouTube channel have 38 subscribers? Nobody gives a fuck about fighter safety. Nobody cares about that shit. You guys, listen. Let's be real. You guys just want to see a good fight. You guys just want a good night of boxing.
You show me in the channel.
Listen.
38.
Let me show you guys.
Subscribers?
So you guys don't think I'm lying. You know what? If you guys care about fighter safety, maybe you guys can join me as one of the 38 proud subscribers of VADA's drug testing. Look. All right, look. Let me show you something, man. Hold on.
They can't see it.
No, they can see it. Boom. That's the VADA YouTube channel. These guys got 38 subscribers. How come they don't got 100 subscribers or more? Because nobody cares about fighter safety. It's all just
There's another company too. Which was the Mayweather?
USADA, but everybody says VADA is the gold standard. So if VADA is the gold standard, why are boxing fans? Why are their videos not getting more views?
Subscribers, yeah.
Come on, man, it's bullshit. You guys don't care about fighter safety. You guys don't care about these guys' lives after boxing. You guys just want to see a good night of boxing. You want to see good fights. You want a night out. That's the cold hard truth. It's very few
and collect the money.
It's very few people that really care about these fighters. You know, now people like my guy John the Iceman Scully, you know, the former fighter himself, he, in the 90s, he cares about fighters. This is a guy that's working. He's working with multiple organizations to raise money for fallen fighters who can't even talk no more. That's the guy that cares for fighters.
Yeah,
you know, very few people care about fighters. So all this fake outrage about we should use. I don't want to hear none of it because when You guys are only most boxing fans are selective as to who uses PEDs.
I think
Straight up.
One of the biggest things that I'm a very advocate, and I wish I could make money so I can do something about it. I would love to have an organization that when retired fighters have what's called punch drunk
pension
and this and that. Yeah, I wish that somehow there could be a pension. But do you think that the promoters or anybody think about that? Or what was one of the fighters that told you a few months ago? He told you is when somebody died, the guy didn't care about him no more than he needed to pay bureau.
Yeah, like look at Patrick Day, right?
God bless.
I'm gonna get your guys' comments because I see some great comments.
Yeah.
All right,
Patrick
all right.
Day.
Patrick Day, right? Had that fight against what was it? Maxime Dadashev? Was it Dadashev?
Yeah.
No, not Dadashev. Charles Conwell.
Right.
Was it Charles Conwell? He had that fight. And he died in tragic fashion. He's a fallen warrior. He's a casualty of the sport.
God bless him.
It happens. God bless him. May God rest his soul. He chose that life. All right. He chose that life, Patrick Day.
But the other promoters do.
But when he died, you had all this fake, sadness of the promoters. Rest in peace, champion. All that. Rest in peace, champion. But did they pay for his funeral? Did they, help the family pay for the funeral? No, they did not. So these promoters do not give a fuck about the fighters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my man David Flat Sparks. The fighters are like the pimps. Oh no, the fighters are like the hoes, and the promoters like the pimps. They get what they need, and when they get what they need, they kick it to the curb.
Yeah,
that's crazy. What it is. You guys can love it, you can hate it, but that's how it is. That's why. Look, I may not like Canelo, but I can't ever get mad at Canelo for making the money he can because boxing is a hard, unforgiving game. So if you can get $100 million. You get your $100 million.
He learned this from another boxer. A lot of fighters told him this. That wasn't something he made up.
Yeah. Anyway, PEDs increase home runs in MLB and knockouts in boxing. Yeah. And listen, everyone loved Barry Bonds. Listen, Pops will tell you he grew up taking me to baseball games. Barry Bonds, all these guys. So I saw these guys. I saw all these guys play in live and in color at the Pro Players Stadium when I was a kid.
8 hours before walking up to the
okay.
Stadium,
So I enjoy the steroid era. I loved it, and I'm not saying I love the steroid era. And truthfully, you know what? I think they should bring steroids back in baseball because baseball is just as bad too. They want to keep Barry Bonds at the Hall of Fame. They want to keep Clemens at the Hall of Fame. But I'll tell you this: they're not going to donate all that money they made off of him back during that era.
Big Poppy, I love Big Poppy, and he was questions to have and stuff. But let's get off the subject.
I got a question for you. Pop.
A cheater never wins.
I got a question for you. Would anybody care if they found out Michael Jordan was on steroids the whole time?
Hell no.
No, they wouldn't care.
Hell no. I mean, you throw the balls across, you shoot it for the basket, it goes across over the basket. You throw like
David says that's why I support Canelo. He don't be on PED. He just likes his steaks well done. Yeah, okay.
I like that. Make sure you put the steak sauce on it too. But no, at the end of the day, a cheater never wins. If you can be out there.
Oh man, I'm glad Tahoe Blue said this because I say this all the time to my friends about basketball.
Yeah.
And
you've been saying that.
I don't like LeBron, so anytime I say anything negative about LeBron, he's like my Canelo but for basketball.
Yeah.
They said some of LeBron's best years in Miami was when he was juiced the fuck up. Absolutely. Woo! Dude was losing his hair, then he would come back, then he would lose it, he'd come back. What do you think? That was a coincidence? He was losing his hair and was coming back?
Yeah.
Like,
I just think at some point you gotta have some type of integrity for yourself.
You can't have PEDs in boxing. Boxing is the deadliest sport in the world. Well, then boxing, and I'm talking about VADA.
I was saying,
listen, I agree with that, but you can't
kill somebody.
You can't half-ass it. You either gonna be transparent with the testing, or you're gonna let them take steroids. Pick one.
Okay, but you gotta get a testing organization that's gonna be an outside source that can actually do the testing, not antibiotics, not SCI, whatever. And just get an agency in there that would literally do that from the outside and prove that.
Listen.
And you're not going to get that because, again, it's just like the mafia, just like the corruption. Everybody just gets paid off.
Let me say this.
But I don't agree with PEDs at all. I don't think they should have it in boxing at all. You can kill somebody.
You can kill someone when you're not on PEDs.
Well, yeah, but
say Kovalev killed a guy when he wasn't on PEDs.
Right, but PEDs increases the thing, the possibility. So no.
BT, but they will damage their organs. Well, then you know what? That's the fighter's choice. For the 39 subscribers, I think MAW subscribes to the channel, so now it's not 38. They have 39 subscribers.
God bless you. Yeah.
For the 39 subscribers that watch the VADA videos, if the information's out there about what steroids can do to your body. If a fighter wants to sacrifice his long-term health for riches, fame, and glory, then that's their prerogative. But I think they should have the choice, because the reality is, look, it's like when Ricardo Mayorga used to smoke cigarettes during training camp.
Oh, that's some crazy.
All right, yeah. Ricardo Mayorga used to smoke cigarettes during training camp, and my good friend Stacey McKinney always says, look, he was gonna do that regardless. I had to manage it. All right, and he managed it. You know, he told Mayorga, if you train this hard for this many days, on Saturday, I'll buy you a pack of cigarettes and a 6-pack of beer, and you can watch sparring. And that's what he did, and they won a world title together. Boxing got to do the same thing. These fighters are gonna do it anyway, so you got to find a way to manage it. You know what I'm saying? But Bad Hombre asks a real tough question, and I don't like this question because it's tough to answer. It says Chocolatito or Arguello, who's better? Tough question. Tough.
Oh my God. I'm gonna call truth in that. I'll give prestige to both of them for the same country.
I mean, I think Chocolatito is the best fighter for Nicaragua. Obviously, I'm going to be a little bit biased because it's my favorite fighter of all time, and you know, I've seen Arguello fight. Like, I've watched plenty of his fights. Yeah. I think Chocolatito has a bit more ring craft than Arguello. Arguello was the harder puncher. Arguello was a more one-punch knockout artist. But I think Chocolatito, Chocolatito had the benefit of watching Arguello and learning from him. So of course he's supposed to be better.
Right.
I'll slightly favor Chocolatito, but honestly, you can't go wrong with either one. You really can't go wrong with either one. If anybody says Arguello better than Chocolatito, like, you're not gonna get an argument from me.
No.
BT, when you get time, show Pops the burner Instagram page. I will. I'm gonna show him your Instagram page. My point is, we can't compare boxing to any other sport because you will never. That's true. But listen, they gotta make a decision. You gotta make a decision. You know what's funny? Like, even in baseball, right? Like, Hank Aaron and Willie Mays and all these guys are on PEDs. You know that, right? I don't know if you know that. Did you know that? Yeah, they were on. I forgot what it was called. They were called. I think they were on greenies or speed or something like that. I forgot.
Hank Aaron
and Willie Mays and like everyone you know, they were on steroids. Yes.
Garrett.
Probably him too. I don't know. I've looked into Lou Gehrig, but probably. But I know that from what I was reading recently.
Oh.
Hank Aaron and Willie Mays were on PEDs, just so you guys know, and I like them. Till this day, I'm convinced Pryor cheated to beat Arguello. Yeah, they put the pain medication, they crushed it up in the black bottle, and then he drank the black bottle, and he got all this stamina out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and he said, "Shoot, sit your ass down." Taking steroids intravenously is healthier than orally. Steroids keep AIDS and cancer patients alive for years. Steroids in any martial arts should be punishable by law. Well, listen, John LeJeune, I think until we get to that point, we're just going to have to accept that steroids are going to be part of the sport. All this fake bullshit virtual signaling where the Vada YouTube channel only has 39 subscribers, I don't want to hear it.
It's just enough right there.
It's just enough right there. Yeah. Nobody cares about fighter safety. They say they do, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if let me see. Why do you think Maradona was on cocaine? Yeah, to boost his performance. Is performance enhancing if a golfer gets eye surgery? That's up for debate because you still got to execute the damn shot. But I mean, it's gonna help you see how the wind is blowing better. And
seriously,
I don't know.
I don't know, man. The bottom line is, I was brought up, and right is not always right in this world. Do things the right way, and you'll get more out of it, even though it's not like that in this world. Does that make sense like that?
You off your rocker. Hey, but shout out to everybody here. It's your boy BT, the Untouchable True School Sports Empire. We got like 25 minutes left or so to hit the 2-hour mark. So if you guys got any questions, anything y'all want to talk about, let us know. Subscribe to the channel and definitely super chat if you like the content and what's going on.
You want to open it up for 20 minutes? Yeah, for 20 minutes.
Here, we're going to do this. For the next 20 minutes or so,
come on live and talk to us.
We're going to open it up. So if any of y'all want to talk, if y'all want to give your comments on Canelo or anything PED related,
open it up.
The link is down there. We'll do like 2 or 3 people for like 10 minutes and then 5-10 minutes and then we'll get up off of here. Yeah. So yeah, there's a link. Maradona started cocaine when he was in Napoli. The mob introduced him to cocaine. Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Dundada says, BT and Pops, you keep my day going, keep the hard work going. Absolutely, champ. We gotta keep it going. You know what?
Thank you.
It's funny you say that because I was just praying before I came on live today, and I said, you know what? I asked God, I said, you know what? There's people that watch us, and just help me to understand that, a lot of people help me keep their lives, help me to keep their days going.
And the same way.
And truthfully, look, I didn't even want to be live today.
No, I told my friends, you gotta go live and stuff.
But we gotta keep it going,
we also make our days, believe it or not. Absolutely.
Usam over here defending Maradona. He says, but Maradona never failed cocaine at the World Cup. That's fake news. Oh, it is what it is. Jamal versus Castagna rematch winner. Go ahead.
I said it yesterday at the live. I'm gonna say it again. Castagna came in there, and I think he actually fought a great fight. That he got robbed the first time. I think he's gonna come in there and give the same fight to bring it back to Jamal. I think he's gonna pull it off.
I have Jamel making the adjustment and knocking his ass out because he made the adjustment late in the fight and he almost got him out of there. I think more of that early on in this fight is gonna happen. Nico Ali Walsh needs to calm his ass down. He'll never be his grandfather. It's the point where I believe he would change his face to look like him. Damn. Wait, Hyro, are you talking down on Nico Ali Walsh?
Well, I know
you love Nico Ali Walsh.
The only thing that beats the topic about that is that Top Rank, everybody's gonna use him that name for make that money.
And they're not gonna match him tough at all. He's not getting a semi-hard fight.
I was surprised that I liked him when he was Sugar Hill. When I heard Sugar Hill was gone, I didn't like that at all.
Well, now apparently the guy he's training with now used to work with Joe Frazier. So now Top Rank is doing the whole Ali's grandson, Frazier's former cornerman or trainer, working together, and they're trying to top Bob Arum. Yeah. Slick bastard Bob Arum. Yeah. Do you think now that PBC won't make Canelo versus Charlo fight, there's a higher chance of Spence versus Crawford? You know what? I never considered that, but
anything's possible.
I hope so. I really hope so, man, because something's got to happen with Crawford. Crawford can't just
sit around,
retire, and you can't just let Crawford get out of the box without making that big fight against Spence. And if not against Spence, I think it's getting to a point where Crawford might need to move up to 54. Maybe he should fight the winner of Charlo Castagno. Yeah. What do you think about that? What would you think, Pops, if Crawford moved to 154 and fought Castagno?
That'd be a great fight, either or. It'd be a great fight,
either or.
It'd be a great fight, and it'll be a true test for him. And then if he does that, it's gonna legitimize him as one of the top of the top.
Yeah. Top Rank is out here living off Ali. Hey, if you got it, flaunt it. Mm-hmm. I think Jamel was adjusted too, but Castagno dropped in the first. I thought Castagno won the first fight, but Jamel figured him out later on in the fight, and I think more of that will happen in the early parts of the first fight. Dundada says, BT, don't let people knock you down. Your channel will be big off your work alone. Well, yeah, man. Listen,
God bless you.
This is boxing is my life, man. People don't know, but it is my life. Man. And over the years, I'll tell you guys a story about me. When I was younger, when I was I'll be 27 on Friday. So thank the Lord I made it this far in life. But when I was 22, 21, 23, I was a lot more mentally fragile. Things used to really get to me and stuff. But, I've developed thick skin over the years. I've grown in confidence as I've achieved certain milestones. And I'm getting more confident, really coming into my own as I reach the back half of my 20s. So we're going to keep it going, Pete, for Dundada, for the people like you, for the people like MAW, Hyro, the regular viewers. Nothing on earth, nothing on earth will stop the untouchable True School Sports Empire from going where it needs to go. And I'll tell you guys this. God is good. And the months of March and April are going to be very fun months here on the channel because I'm going to Charlatita versus Strata. I'm going to be at either Virgil Ortiz, Michael McKinson, or Charlo Castagno. I don't know which one yet, but I'll be at one of those two fights on the 19th. I'm going to Ryan Garcia versus Tego. I'm gonna go to Ugas versus Spence. I'm gonna go to Canelo versus Bivol if it's on May 7th. We going to all these fights. Yeah, we gotta go to all of them, and we're gonna get content at all of them, and it's gonna be a glorious time. So hope you guys.
Questions you want him to ask when he goes to those fights, any of those fighters we interviewed them, bring them down, throw them down. Yeah, 27 Club, bless you and your love. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Many blessings. Can't believe I'm getting 27. That's kind of scary. 27, baby. I'm 35. He's 27.
Yeah.
53.
How about Floyd after the weigh-in when he get the FIB? What's FIB? IBF? What are you talking about? Clarify that for me because I'm not sure what you're asking. I hope Crawford is still 147 when Josh Taylor moves up. That's the fight. Because look, if it's not, listen. Anybody who knows me, you guys know how big I am on Josh Taylor. I listen. I've been the Josh Taylor fan club representative for the USA since
for the longest time.
I was telling. He used to tell me you can go on you can go back. You can dig in my archive.
Yeah.
When me and Pops would do our World Boxing Super Series preview videos.
Yeah. He
would tell me that Prograde was going to win the World Boxing Super Series, and
I still like Prograde, but. One thing we teach you, shut me up real quick, man.
I told Pops, there's no way on God's green earth. I told him all the way back then, there's no way in hell that Regis Prograde's beating Josh Taylor. Nobody's beating Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor, he was born for this kind of a tournament. He was built for moments like this. What last name he got? Taylor name. Got our last name.
Yeah, it's a great name. Dare to be great, right, brother?
Dare to be great. Escribiendo la historia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think of Cesar Martinez and Cholatito? I think Cholatito knocks out Martinez. I really hope so, man. I think he's got the tools to do it. I think Martinez wings his shots and can get a bit wild. We saw McWilliams Arroyo give him some problems. I'm super, super excited about the fact that I'm going to be at that fight. This is going to be the fourth Cholatito fight.
And I hope we're not, but you always say it could be the last one.
It could always be the last one. Yeah. So this is going to be the fourth Cholatito fight I've gone to in person. I went to the Cuadras fight. Calia fight, Guy Estrada 2, and now this one. So
God bless him.
I always love going to his fights. They've always been the best, some of the best nights of my life. Not just boxing, but it's just my life. Period. They've been great nights of my life. Kevin Effect, what's good, Trent? Long time viewer. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good.
Thank you.
Caesar says I'm training hard. Good to see you, Caesar. Pops and boy, have a great night. Have a great night too.
Yeah, God bless you. Have a good night. Thank you so much for being here.
Have you been practicing your Spanish for that Eddie Reynoso interview in the future? I think I'm going to have to because if I get this press pass, he's going to be right there, and I'm going to need to know how to tell him a couple things. Yeah. The only things I really want to tell him is stop ducking Demetrius Andrade.
You got to do what you do with the Japanese with your school thing.
Yeah. I'm a fellow Scotsman. I've never been more excited about a fighter. Listen, you have every right to be excited about Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor is an A-level, creme de la creme fighter. He's got a chance to go all the way and become the pound-for-pound number one in the sport.
And what I like about Josh Taylor, once he won his belt, he went to go see, I think, the other champion was Ken Buchanan, yep. He went to Ken Buchanan's house, and he took the belts to him, and he gave him he wanted Buchanan to give him the blessings to him as a fellow Scotsman. So for me, all the respect goes to him. I like how he carries it. I don't know much about Ken Buchanan outside the ring, but I love how Taylor carries himself. And if you cross him the wrong way, he will let you know that we're not here to play. And I had a chance to meet him in real life, man. A very down to earth person. And I can't explain it, but I meet a lot of fighters, and Josh Taylor just has this special presence about him. Yeah.
You won't know what I'm talking about unless you meet him.
Right.
But if you meet him, you'll know what I'm talking about. Right. He's got a presence about him that most fighters just don't have, and even stuff like that makes a fighter special.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
So yeah, I've always said, look, if Josh Taylor moves up to 147, not even Crawford is safe against Josh Taylor. That's a tough fight for Crawford. Yeah. And if we can't get Spence, that's the legacy fight we need. The last two undefeated 140 champions squaring off at 147, fighting for one of the top pound-for-pound spots in boxing.
He's been calling for the longest time. He didn't give a shit about TLC or nobody, but he wants that fight with Crawford. I
think Crawford versus Josh Taylor is much closer than people think. It is because you got Taylor's bringing that boxer puncher style to the table. He's long, he's rangy, he's fast. And I'm going to say this, he might be the first person Crawford's ever fought that has the same amount of dog as Crawford.
Wow.
That's
a lot.
Really. He really has that much dog in him to where I think he can match, and maybe he might have more dog than Crawford. We don't know. That's why we got to make the fight happen.
What about Catterall? What his name is?
Catterall's gonna get parked. Catterall's gonna get fucked up badly. No disrespect to Catterall. I respect him.
I like him, but he's not ready. He's not ready for the real Taylor.
He's a good fringe contender, British level fighter, but there's levels in boxing.
And he's not there yet.
I watched him fight. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's a bum.
No, he's a humble guy. And they both have respect for each other.
I wish Catterall the best, but
And Taylor came out and said, "Listen, I like you and all, I respect you and everything, but guess what? Those bills will stay with me." They
Oh snap! Okay, I'm gonna get to like 2 more comments, and there's a topic we didn't talk about. We need to talk about. We might need to camp out there for like 30 minutes.
Okay, go
okay.
ahead.
Hyro says, "BT, I respected you more when you made that video of Bivol getting destroyed by Ward."
You see something?
Because I did say that. I think Boots is huge. I only see 3 more fights for him at 147 for Boots.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a good fight. I mean,
yeah.
You mentioned Boots, right? And that's what I wanted to talk about.
Listen, Boots.
So Sean Porter, right? And
oh yeah.
Shout out to
Thank you,
Sean Porter.
Yeah.
And the Porter Way podcast. Shout out to my guy Sean Tattel, who's one of the main guys on the Porter Way podcast, and he's also my only like real close friend in the boxing media.
Too. One of the best.
And one of the best. Go check out all his work. Absolutely. Porter was talking about the welterweight division, and he made an interesting comment. He started flapping his gums, and he started spewing bullshit out the side of his lip, and he said that Jaron Boots Ennis is overrated. Now, to be fair, we got to give context to what he said. He didn't just say he was overrated. He was saying he was overrated in the sense that when people talk about potential matchups for Ennis, they always just say it's a foregone conclusion that Ennis is gonna beat these guys. Like they have no chance. Right. And he said in that sense he's overrated, but still, it doesn't matter what the context was. You still said he was overrated.
Yeah. So
he's the same person, Porter. I remember the interview before he fought Crawford.
Right.
When he was asked about Boots, he said, "I'm only focused about fighting the guys in my era. He's too much for me." Now all of a sudden he's overrated. So listen, I don't know where Sean Porter's from, but where I'm from, when you make statements like that, you gotta cash them checks at your ass rights. So he gotta come out of retirement. He gotta fight Boots.
What Boots say? What did Boots say after that?
Boots said if I'm overrated, come out of retirement and fight me. Woo! What you think he said?
I mean,
gonna have Sean Porter, who just got folded up by Crawford, talking about.
I've been hearing about Boots. A lot of people say the same thing, but I'm gonna go back to what you say, BT. He's got all the tools and everything. Mm-hmm. But you want to see him go past the 8 rounds or whatever.
I'll let see.
He's an excellent, exciting fighter. That don't get me wrong, I like how he comes in there.
Potential pay-per-view star.
And he wears damn. She always called with shorts, the fur, whatever thing he wears. He wears Chantel. What's the thing he wears? She says he's a good fighter. Gotta wear those. When a good fighter wears
chinchilla.
Yeah, chinchilla. He comes in there. He's quick. He's got all the tools. But to me, he's still got to show me more. And the same goes for my boy who I like a lot, Virgil Ortiz. You know what I mean? I think people, we know there's talent in both him and Virgil Ortiz, especially and his Boozy. People consider him real high. And I will say this about Philly fighters: they're top of the notch, top dogs. And he's got a dog in him. He's got skills. He's got everything. But I want to see him progress more and to bigger fights and go longer rounds. So. But Sean Porter maybe should have worded that a little bit differently, and that's the way.
But he said what he said
because when he was active, he didn't come out and said it. He just did it after retirement. Well, guess what?
Listen.
Come out of retirement.
He said what he said.
Punch the clock in and get in the ring with Boots.
Because you can't just say that and then say I'm retired. No.
Did he answer? Did he come back and answer?
No. Maybe he did. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Wow. Because Boots will call anybody. He don't care.
Kevin Effects says Porter versus Ennis would be awesome. It will be extremely awesome.
Yeah, because Porter's quick. He's got movement. He got everything, and it's for real. He's also a dog in there with his quickness and his skills. So it'll be a great fight. And like I said, he called him out. The young buck called him out. So what's he gonna do now?
We'll see. I don't think Porter's coming out of retirement. He got a beautiful family, got a lot of money in the bank.
Yeah.
He's got his thing. Ennis did say, I saw an interview on YSM Sports Media today. Yeah. Shout out to Jamil Parker and YSM Sports Media. In my opinion, let me tell you guys this, all right, before I get into what was said in the interview. In my opinion, I don't go out of my way to give many channels credit because I think most of these YouTube channels suck, if I'm being honest with you. But one of the very few channels that I really think is giving the boxing community a lot of
content,
great value in content and interviews is YSM Sports Media. If you want to know anything about Philadelphia fighters, Philadelphia boxing, he's your guy. So I'll subscribe to YSM Sports Media and Jamil Parker. But I was going ahead and I was watching his interview with Jaron and it said, look, I don't know if Crawford hit him in the head too hard and lost some brain cells.
Oh shit!
But when he was active, he didn't want to fight me. Now he want to talk. And he said that he thinks it was all a publicity stunt to get his podcast numbers up to make the Sean Porter podcast more popular.
Well, whatever it is, you still don't come out and call a guy that you had a chance to get in the ring with before you cut your retirement check and call him out. So go ahead, continue getting your retirement check. But if you really mean business, shut your mouth to Sean Porter, not to disrespect you, and don't sit and call out a young buck. You call it what you see, but don't say he's overrated because you didn't get in there.
You can't be double talking. Yeah. That's not, Sean Porter saying Ennis is overrated, a way to get another payday. It's possible. It's very possible.
You think so?
Maybe he's doing like a reverse psychology.
Well,
maybe he retired and he wants some money. I don't know. But he's got money.
Yeah. But somebody also said that sometimes you retire too soon and you still want to challenge yourself. And he's young enough to come out back out of retirement. Why not? But not against.
Why not? Because he's got a beautiful family and he's got money in the bank.
That's what his dad said. That's why his dad stopped the fight.
Okay. You looking good. You made that girl famous and talked to Canelo face to face. What girl famous? Which girl did I make famous?
Sinisa?
Is it Sinisa?
That's the only one famous either. Yeah.
That's the only one I talk about. Yeah. So maybe her, but other than that, I don't know any other girl I make famous. I stay pretty low key to myself, so I don't know what other girl you could be talking about. But if you could let me know, I'd like to know. Yeah.
So that's a big thing. I think Ennis came out just like a Philly fighter. You gonna call me out like that, man? You know what I like, man? We showed you that video of my boy.
Who?
Hackett.
Greg Hackett with the street fighting?
Yeah, man, he knocked that guy. Well, it was crazy to feel like, oh damn, it's a real fight.
Porter's been retired for 5 days and we're asking him to come back. I'm not asking him to come back. He's talking out the side of his mouth about a guy that he didn't want to fight when he was active, saying that he's overrated. So if you're saying he's overrated, then why don't you come back and prove how overrated he is?
I mean, he's still in pretty good shape to go ahead and fight a talented fighter like Ennis. So why not? You know.
What's the issue? She says, yes, it was Sinisa. I didn't know who she was before. Yeah,
there you go.
A lot of people didn't know who she was before. Then they came to True Sports.
That's why I say he going to end up loving Canelo if he going to marry the Mexican flag. You know what I mean?
Well, I told Pops. I can't really hate Canelo because whatchamacallit, she came. Sinisa had come to Vegas for the fight week, and I got to hang out with her because of Canelo. So shout out to Canelo.
So good. Yeah, make it happen.
But
make it happen. So if that's the case, that'd be great. But I mean, we already know in a few years it's going to be Ennis, and I still believe Ortiz is going to be the top of the top, and then 147.
Hey, but I saw Taylor had a black eye during sparring. Did you see the interview? I heard about it. I didn't watch it.
Who's this?
Taylor, that Josh Taylor had a black eye. Look, people make a big deal about fighters having black eyes in sparring. The reality is this, guys. It's a fight. Like, it's a fight. Sparring is sparring. You're going to have good days in the gym. You're going to have bad days in the gym. Having a black eye in sparring normally means you're having some pretty damn good sparring.
And whatever happens to it, believe it's going to
make as long as it makes you ready for what's under the lights.
Right. Exactly. And that was a good point that,
F Real says he said he didn't mean overrated. He said people say that that he'll beat Crawford and Earl, and that they shouldn't say that because he hasn't fought no one at that level. No. I heard the clip. I heard the context of what he said out there, but I heard the clip. He said that shit with some emphasis. He said Javon Ennis is overrated, and then Sean Tatel tried to correct him, and he doubled down on it.
Yeah. One would say I'm not going to time out.
Yeah, he bet. Listen, he best stay retired and
enjoy his life.
Continue killing it with the podcast.
He retired because of what his father said and this and that. He did a lot. A lot of what his father doing too. I think that was in there. But anyways, don't just talk bad about somebody. If you're gonna do anything, bring light on the fighter and behind closed doors. You can say, "This is what I think about you." Out of respect for him. But if you're gonna call him out, you're gonna be like Philly fighter. You're gonna come out and show you.
I'm gonna come out and talk that shit.
So I mean,
right back.
One thing I will give about Ennis, he's called all the top fighters. He's not afraid to fight any of them. He's willing to do what he's got to do. So Sean, you can put on the list too.
So this is a hell of a point. From Dendada, he says, BT, since Canelo's not taking the $50 million from PBC with the Charlo fight, there's no excuse we can't get Spence versus Crawford. But yes, there is. Yes, there is, champ. There's always an excuse not to fight Terrence Crawford. We can't get Spence versus Crawford because we got to get Spence versus Thurman.
Yeah, he's still. But I'll be honest. I don't think.
No, but I agree.
I think Thurman needs more fights, man. To tune up. He's not at that level anymore.
No, Keith one-time Thurman wants to give the fans the exciting fight from the world.
His name was.
Did you see how he answered the question about Crawford?
What he said.
We'll go to screenshot. I'll show you.
Because let me tell you, Thurman He came back. He wanted to
Look,
fight, whatever.
Keith Thurman should have been a politician.
He's not ready.
Look,
the level that
we're gonna watch. Listen, we're gonna watch. Where's that interview at? We're gonna watch this interview with Fight Hub. All right, because Thurman was asked a question. He was already asked a question about fighting Terrence Crawford, and I want to show Pops how Keith answered this question. So we're gonna go to screen share. Yeah, there's more. But wait, there's more. You're damn right. There's always more.
Yeah, because I mean, I think
I gotta show you this, and I want you to watch this with me, Pops. And I want you to watch how he skates on this question. This is after the Barrios press conference. So watch this.
When he was asked who he would want to fight, he has repeatedly mentioned you first, and he's obviously some free agent or whatever he is. What do you think about the possibility of making that fight as your next fight, and what do you think of the fight in general?
Well, you know, the fact that he's a free agent should make things a little bit better. Working with Bob is not fun for a lot of fighters. At the end of the day, I'm not sure. You know, you see what I'm wearing right now. You see what I'm representing. They've been asking me for a long time, where are you ranked, Keith Thurman? And I say, I don't know. One of the best fighters in the world. Who cares what rank they give me, what number they give me, what position they give me? You know, I do want to fight champions. I'm going to be looking forward to getting in the ring with a champion. I want an opportunity to get a world title again. So if that's the best opportunity, I'll take it. You know, I always love great fights. I love making exciting fights in the welterweight division. But like I say, you see what I'm representing right now. So this might be the ladder that I'm climbing. We know that.
Pause. So he's telling you right there, we're gonna go the WBC route now. Who holds the WBC title right now, Pops, in the welterweight? Who is the WBC champion at welterweight? Spence.
Yeah. Okay.
He's telling you in an indirect way, I'm going to go fight Errol Spence. He's telling you right there in plain sight, in his own way.
So basically, what he's saying, he don't want no smoke from Crawford, because if he did. Because this is what I'm saying. If he did, he would have come out and start skating on his answer, and he would have said, "Okay, I'll fight Crawford, and then I go back to Spence."
This isn't the Keith Thurman that was undefeated, because the Keith Thurman that was undefeated used to say this. He used to say, "I got an O, and I'm not afraid to let it go. My mom beat my ass, my dad beat my ass. Can you beat my ass?" Like, this ain't that Thurman.
No, Thurman. I mean, he won the fight. Sure, he did. But no disrespect to Barrios, but at the end of the day, to me, he needs more fights.
Let's finish the clip.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So here's the rest of what he said.
Errol Spence, Dennis Ugas, none of these fights would have manifested if Keith Thurman didn't lose to Manny Pacquiao. So there was a shift in matchups once when I fell out of championship status. So I had the WBA, I had the WBC. I relinquished the WBC. Nobody beat me for the WBC world title, you know. So those belts I want back in my possession. I do like the fight with Terrence Crawford, but we'll just have to see what opens up, what really negotiates, how stubborn we get when it comes to what kind of split there is. You know, it's just business from here on out. I do like the fight, though. Thank you for the question.
So very, very gracious, very articulate, and always very eloquent, Keith Thurman. That's not really.
I don't think he really wants to smoke from Crawford. Honestly, if you're coming back up now and you use what you just want against I'm not gonna say BC's fight or whatever you want to call Barrios, and you got this little WBC trinket here now, and this is the direction you're going. That's telling me that you're running away from Crawford. You don't want to take Crawford. You know what those will do for you? How much more money you're going to make with Spence? Get the hell out of here with that, Spence. And I'm going to tell you, Spence is not back. He will not be back to the top. Should be. He needs a couple more fights to get back to any kind of skill level. But I don't think it's the same old Thurman when he left.
You know, FBO says Thurman wants his belt back. The WBC was his, and he never got a chance to defend it. Well, listen, if the opportunity is there to fight Crawford and he don't take it, you know, there.
And what better way? And then we know it's not going to happen because Crawford is a dog in him. But if he just happens to beat Crawford with
7 rounds or less,
I don't believe that. I'm going to tell you straight up. If he had, and then he has Spence even bigger.
If Crawford fights Thurman's getting he's getting the Julius Ndongo treatment.
Oh,
he's getting stopped with a body shot if they fight, and he knows that, so he's not going to fight him.
He's not going to fight him either because if Spence watches that fight against Thurman and I mean against Crawford, and Crawford put a beating on Thurman like he never had before.
You mean Porter or Thurman?
Crawford fighting Thurman. If that fight ever happened, and Crawford puts a beating on Thurman, Spence gonna run even further away.
Spence going up to 60.
Yep.
Oh
Spence,
shit!
Spence gonna run away.
Don't say anything, but look who's calling me.
Man.
No, I'm not gonna answer that right now.
Wow, man, this guy's a trip.
But yeah,
so at the end of the day, he's skating around the answer, but at the end of the day, he don't want no part. He don't want no smoke on the press. Yeah.
Look, guys, I gotta make an important phone call.
Phone, yeah.
Someone called me, but listen, listen,
live?
it was a hell of a live. Thank you guys for the live.
Somebody just called him.
We'll be live tomorrow, but I gotta go call this dude
This
back.
happens every time.
I'll tell you guys who it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
Damn.
you guys take care. We'll be live again tomorrow around the same time. So don't
Thank you so much for being here. Keep subscribing to the channel. God bless. We gotta go. We got a quick call.
Keep the support in the
Jeez,
channel.
man.
God bless. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Dingus. So until next time, take care, guys.
Damn.